Yep. And welcome to Scottsdale Park here in the beautiful Redland Shire here, and we've got round 3 of NEFL action. It is the Redland Bombers at home to the Canberra Demons. Two young sides. Should be a tight contest as both search for their first win of the season. Michael Price is my name. I'll be calling all the action with Mark Kennedy. G'day, Kanga.
Great to be here, Pricey, and the beautiful Redland Shire here, the southern suburbs of Brisbane on the Bayside. Canberra, their real first away foray for season 2018. They've been disappointing, I think, for the first couple of games. They are winless, as you mentioned. Redland come in winless. I think Canberra have really got to step up today because Redland, they've been around the mark, but they just haven't been able to finish off.
And the special comments being provided by the Encyclopedia of Queensland Football, Bob Batty. Good afternoon, Bob.
Yeah, good afternoon, Michael. Great to be here. Beautiful day here, and the ground is in perfect nick. And looking forward to this one. It's both winless teams, but they'll be really trying very, very hard to get their first win on the board. And Redland at home, always hard to beat. You would think I'd have their nose in front at this stage.
A couple of really good matchups I'm looking forward to is the young Canberra ruckman Nathan Richards up against one of the most experienced in Redlands, Craig Malone, and also the young midfielders, the last 2 weeks were the Rising Star nominations for Tribal Sport. Jack Rolls from Redland and Mitch Maguire from Canberra. Should be an absolute cracker. Gentlemen, your tips?
I'm going to go for Redland by about 20 points.
I'll go for Redland by 25.
And I'll go for Redland by a kick, 6 points.
Here we are in the middle. The umpire raising the ball in the air is Alex Wetton, umpiring his final NEFL game before he goes on to the AFL. Congratulations to you, Alex. Here's Mark Kennedy.
Bounce in the middle of Scottsdale Park, and we're underway. Round 3 clash of the NEFL. Batali Simmons, the captain for Redland, just got a quick kick away under enormous pressure. High or under, it takes a good defensive mark right on his 50. Quickly gives the ball off, finds a target there in Fulford, does well, gets it just forward to centre on that outer side, and finds Aaron Bruce. I'll rely on him for goals today. Up forward towards the talls of Canberra, but it was the defensive might of Redland mopping up, and it was Mills. A little bit of a dodgy kick there, finds Baker though. That's Baker for Redland. We've got 2. The kick was another dodgy one, out of bounds on the full. So Canberra can reload, and that's Maguire with the ball. Kicks it off.
Mitch Maguire, probably Canberra's best last week. Chips it inboard, gives it to Alex Smout. Smout inside 50. Goes to a contest. You can see the wind blowing it across. Nice mark taken by Mitch Hardy. Floated across the front. Takes the mark. It's about 45 degree angle. Have to kick this from 40, Bob.
Yeah, look, if he kicks it out to that right goalpost, the wind will bring it back around. Looking forward to some of their younger players today. They've got some big raps on them from the Giants Academy and Swans Academy, and that's their way forward for the Canberra Demons.
Mitchell Hardy from Leeton Witten in New South Wales aims it out right. You can see the wind taking it. Big fly at the back. Ball spills at the front. Redland defence under pressure. Good tackling there from the Canberra forwards. Nice tackle there by Ben Fulford. And the ball will be balled up in the right forward pocket. Canberra pressing.
So Malone and Richards, the former outpointed the latter. The Salter got it away. Damien Stephen just kicks an almost an up and under. That's gone out of bounds on the full. So Canberra, they can repel here. Donnie Roberts it is. Tight angle. I'm not sure if this is the right angle to bring it into goal either, Bob.
No, but it'll certainly get the distance. It's going to be a tough kick with that breeze swinging right to left, but he's a real chance from there.
Fancies himself, lines it up, and it looks like it's gone across the face, and it has. So the first score of this afternoon goes the way of the Demons. They are kicking with a breeze, and I'd suggest it's probably 3 or 4 goals as Peter Yagmore brings it in, finds the experienced Adrian Williams in the back pocket. They've almost made a meal of it. Williams gets it back and he kicks it up looking for the flyer there. That was Copeland, and the ball goes over the back and out of bounds. We'll have a throw in right in front of the clubhouse here at Scottsdale Park.
I think that wind is going to affect the northern end, which is to your left of screen here on NEFL TV through our broadcast partner Bar TV. Throw in Malone in front of baby Huey Richards. Neither gets it down. Malone just squashed his opponent there, absolutely buried him. Lucky he landed in his side, so it wasn't a push in the back. Getting up out of the turf was Lucas Malone. Very good last week for Canberra. Kicked a goal. Malone taps it down to Salt. Sorry, it was Rolls. Kicked forward there by the Demons. Again, Redland defence under pressure as the ball's extracted back out towards the wing. Demons have got the numbers here. Here's Smout. Smothered there. Talented footwork there by Jackson Payne. The ball's in contest again. Nice looping handball over the top. Here it comes again for the Bombers through Baker. Payne's going to get on the end of this one. Good movement. Dodgy looking kick though. Inside 50. Canberra got it covered through Mitch Maguire. Chain of handballs is going to bring it out into the centre. That's a lovely pass. Dropped there by Cameron Milne. Puts his teammate under pressure. He's going to get it back, Milne. There's the handball through the guts. Again, they link up, doing beautifully to the outside.
So Canberra, they take it inside their forward 50. Just misses the target. Salter's back there. He'll be happy to find the boundary line, and he's happy to take that tackle. And Canberra take it inside their forward 50. Redland just didn't really use it effectively up the other end, though, Bob.
No, their kicking hasn't been all that flash in the first 5 minutes. Great to see Tommy Salter back playing footy after that knee reco.
So the two 19s go at it. Give that one to Malone. Just got the fist on it. No great effect. Redland take it outside their defensive 50, but for how long? It just ricochets back in. It's Aaron Christensen. Changed the number in the off-season. Now in the numero uno, number 1. As the ball gets thrown up yet again. Richards in the thick of it. There's a free kick being picked out. It'll go the way of Hayden Batoli-Simmons.
So the Redland skipper kicks it out to left half back. Just finds his teammate there in Salter. Running it through now. Yagmore, left foot, down the outer side. Good lead from Hamilman on it. Hit him right on the chest. Hamilman on the far wing. Looking for movement. Holding things up. It's a barely 15 kick. Didn't quite make it to his teammate in Copland. Ball spills in favour of Canberra. Rushing for it now was Klemke. He weaves one way, then the other, then down the line. Should favour Yagmore. No, well done by Canberra. Beautifully roved. Kicks it now towards Bruce. Very active early is Aaron Bruce. Wheels around onto the right shoe. Looking for a teammate. Did all the good body work. It was Turner. Follows the ball up. Falls to his knees. Gets up. Curls one around with a third effort. Well done, Jacob Turner. Out of that contest, fell over, got back up, composed himself and hooked it around. Nice work there, Bob Batty.
Yeah, certainly was. And good work. The captain, Aaron Bruce, was involved and kicked the ball beautifully into the forward line. It went over to the back, but great athleticism there by big Jacob Turner. He's a big size and he was with the GWS Academy and was one of their most improved players last year. So they're looking forward to him really making a contribution. I really like the work early of Lucas Malone, and the chap that's got a real big job today is Jacob Conlon. He's on Matthew Hamilman. He's going to have to really work hard to keep him out of the game.
Well, Conlon's had the 3 disposals so far. Inside 50, 6-1 Canberra's way. Not hard to pick that one out, but hit-outs going 5-1 Redland's way, and clearances 4-1. Ball back in the middle. Doing well there was Maguire. Found Malign. The ball inside forward 50 again. Mills is there for Redland, just to mop it up. Just tried to kick it on that left foot and only succeeded in getting it into the arms of the goal kicker, Jacob Turner, who blocked it. And the ball ricochets over the boundary line. The ball will be thrown in. Out of side, forward 50 for Canberra. They're attacking once again.
Interesting to see how many goals this breeze would advantage Canberra in this first quarter as they kicked in the northern end. Ball advantages Redland there. It was Lyons who couldn't quite control it. Eventually, they get it to half-back. Sliding mark. It was taken by Telford. He wants to move it on. Does so. Just happy to retain the ball and move it very, very slowly. You're talking to Stephen. Stephen down the side there. Beautiful mark taken by the big baby Huey and Huddy, the late inclusion, the Kenmore Bear. It goes inside, forward 50 for Redland. Matthew Hamilman down low. It's a long way to get down. What a great mark from Huddy in your first game on the wing there.
Yeah, fantastic mark, wasn't it? A contested mark, and it was so important. He moved it on quickly, and now Hamilman's a chance. It's going to be a tough kick, but he can certainly get the distance.
So Matthew Hamilton, 3 goals last week, of course, former Lions Academy. It's a bit of a helicopter and well read at the front of the pack by Jack Nunn. Some good things hearing about Jack Nunn around the traps.
So Nunn got some, and then he pushed it back outside his own defensive 50. Plenty of players around the contest here. The ball eventually fed out. That was by Bailey, but Canberra shark it. What can they do to take it away? Wrapped up was the Canberra, but they were using a chain of handballs well. Ends up with Maguire. Now there's a bit of space on that outer wing. Just chips the ball inboard. Trying to take the ball and unable to there was Fulford, but Canberra, they managed to get that inside 50 over the head of Bruce. Here comes Lyon. He'll try and mop it up. You won't miss him today. He's got the helmet on. Gives it to Adrian Williams. The kick comes forward. Tried to find Salter. Couldn't do so. Highmore gets it. Chain of handballs off to Bruce. Off one step. And does it squeeze in? It hits the top. The very top of the left goalpost. So 1 point will be the result. 1-8. And Redland yet to score. An error, Bob. Just set that one up for Canberra to pounce.
Yeah, some poor kicking out of defence from Redland. They've got to really watch that. It's going to cost them plenty if they don't tidy that up.
Big kick in. Jackson Payne goes up. Canberra got the numbers, roving it well. Taylor there, under pressure, gets the handball away. It's with Collins. Now off to Pake. He gives it inside to Malign. Malign bubbles one in there. Oh, great work in tight. Gets the handball away, and Mackay, it was who hooked it through for another behind. They seem to be hitting the contest at a greater rate, Bob Batty.
Certainly are, yeah. That was great work from the captain. When he really put his body in, it was him and Williams really clashed heavily, and Bruce got the ball out beautifully as Redland take it out of defence.
So it's that man in Brad Howard, the former Saint, gets it. The quick play right at the other end. It's Hamilton in pursuit, just toes the ball along. He'll be paid a free kick against, though, I think, or... Yes, it will be against him for kicking in danger. Well done there by the Canberra defence. The kick coming out wasn't that good. And the kick was from Cade Klemke, the coach of the Canberra Demons, a playing coach. Who would have thunk it in this day and age, and especially at NEFL level?
Yeah, no, big job, isn't it? Reminds me of the old days of Ron Barassi and all the chaps that did the captain coaching, E.J. Witten. But yeah, it's a tough gig.
Huddy got the tap down, but it's Mitch Maguire who's going down the outer wing, shapes a ball to centre half forward, puts it in front of the pace of his teammate in Fulford. Can he control it off the deck? No, just wide, one behind results. So they are peppering Canberra, 1-4-10 to Redland, yet to score. The inside 50 count, very one-sided at the moment.
10-3 it is. It's Redland. I'll just try and build it up here. Brad Howard got it from Williams, just a little short one. Finds Rees at centre-half back. It's true centre-half back. He goes back to Williams, so just racking up the numbers. And as much as anything, wasting a little bit of time into the breeze, a little bit stronger than we thought. We saw that as Hamilton had that shot for goal earlier. Christensen, this is, gets it to line. So they've worked the ball effectively at this point. To wing, back to Christensen, goes to centre half forward. Now the turnover comes, and it's the former Adelaide Woodville West Torrens prospect in Martin that intercepts for Canberra.
Over the back, Turner, the goal kicker. Let's go from 45. Has a ping at them and just wide again. You can see that breeze taking it across the face of goal. Another behind for the Canberra Demons. 1-5-11 to Redland, yet to score. We've played around about 12 minutes of the first quarter here on NEFL TV through our broadcast partner, Bar TV.
And proudly supported by Elastoplast. That's Yagmore, generally very good by foot. That's no exception. Finds Lyons. So Lyon, he kicks into the man on the mark. That was Klemke that got in there. So Canberra bring it back inside forward 50, and too high will be the call from the umpire, and it'll be Fulford who gets the free kick. And Canberra, they've had the ball in there quite a bit, and now they have a real steady opportunity to put another goal on the board.
Yeah, they certainly dominated possession, haven't they? In their midfield, they're spreading well, they're running hard, and they've kicked the ball better than Redland. Redland have missed a lot of targets, and Canberra are looking the better side as we speak. This is an important kick. They need to get reward for their effort.
So from Queanbeyan and North Albury is Ben Fulford, kicks it up, and again it just goes across the face. So 1-6 they move to, and in reality, they probably should have been at least 3-3, I would think, and should have quite a steady lead at this point in time.
So they're leaving the door open for Redland early. Yagmore, big kick in the Malone direction, punched down there by Bruce, trying to claim the mark. Ball spills, it goes out to Baker, who hooks it around. That's out of bounds on the full. We'll get a free kick in the right back pocket. It'll go to Redland, it'll be taken by Peter Yagmore. I think Adrian Williams is going down looking for a touch. Yagmore decides to play on. Has a bounce in front of his own goal. Urges players to come towards him. Beautifully weighted kick finds Jackson Payne. He wants to take off as well. Wheels around onto the right shoe. It's a long kick down the outer wing. Pack of players over the back. Redland advantage by that. Salter tries to ride the tackle, holding the ball. Definitely. Took them on, was tackled, and let loose the ball as Canberra bring it down the outer wing. Oakes into the 50. Nicely done. Jacob Turner again. He's kicked the first one. Let's see if he can get the second for the Canberra Demons. Bob, they seem to be all over Redland at the minute.
Yeah, certainly. What a beautiful kick there from Nathan Oakes on his left foot, the boy from Nathalia, Murray Bush Rangers. Got a lot of talent, and that was a beautiful kick. But they're winning contested footy. They're spreading well, and this is an important kick. His confidence should be up.
So Jacob Turner from Temora. Let's go. Starts it right. Goal umpire doesn't move. Learning from his previous efforts as well. Jacob Turner gets his and Canberra's second. It is 2-6-18 to Redland, yet to score. We've played around about 16 minutes of the first term on Neefle TV.
Well, when you've got a breeze going one way, you still need to get it in there, and you need to get in there with regularity and use it. Now, Canberra, 2 goals, 6 at this point in time, but just that weight of ball going in, 15 inside 50s to 3. So if you pump it in that much and that hard, and it's difficult to actually get the ball with any great effect going to what we know as the right of screen today, it's always going to be a question of how far and how much, and this is where Canberra just really need to roll over the top and keep scoring. So Malone did it easily, down to Rolls, off to Damien Stephen. Christensen handles the ball nicely on the bounce, can straighten up, but forced to kick under pressure on the left, and coming out to meet it was Pake. So another turnover inside forward 50, just not helping Redland's cause.
He's a good size Pake, isn't he? 196 centimetres and 105 Ks. Nicely delivered by foot as well.
And just 18 years of age too. A real big bull, isn't he? As is this boy.
Poor baby Huey, you've already called him Nathan Richards. Very good last week with 1 goal. He's got it all ahead of him today. Long kick and good body work there. Canberra Demons will end up with the ball full third. Gets the handball and runs in. Great stuff there from Cameron Milne it was, who used his body as well. The big size, got rid of his opponent, looped the handball over to Fulford, and Canberra turned defence into attack and get their third goal on the board. 3-6-24 to Redland, yet to score. All started again from that nice bit of reading of the play from Pake and the good delivery to a half-back situation, Bob.
Yeah, very good mark, intercept mark from Alex Pake. He's, as you mentioned, a good size. They've got a lot of big boys, haven't they? And they've got some pace, and they're really testing Redland at the moment. They're right on top. They're winning the clearances, and they're bombarding the ball forward, but they've got some targets down there. Turner and then Milne that time. So, and Bruce, they're looking very, very dangerous, Canberra here.
What I like is their industriousness around the contest as well. That it's not all just reliant on the wind, that they've been busy around the contest. Upended there was Rolls. He'll get up and go again, but there's a flurry of bodies around where that ball is, and the umpire will ball it up. Lucas Malign underneath it. Baby Huey gets outpointed there by Malone. Ball to half forward for Canberra though. Bruce goes out to meet it. Has to lay the tackle instead on, that was Boyd Bailey, and it tied up underneath a few. And again, they're just getting the ball going their way, Canberra, at the moment. A little bit busier. Malone has front spot, does it easily, just held his opponent out nicely. Underneath there on that occasion was Donnie Roberts. Can't do anything with it, didn't have an opportunity according to the umpire, and the ball up will take place not far from the last.
Smout's got a big job, hasn't he, on the captain, Batoli Simmons. That's an integral match up there for Canberra.
Nathan Richards towed it forward. Running onto the ball, Angus Baker has another flying shot from 40. And flying, that's what the Demons are doing at the moment. 4th goal for them. 4 goals, 6:30 to Redland, yet to score. We played 20 minutes of the first term on NEFL TV.
Just dominating, aren't they? It's all going one way at the moment, and 4 goals, 6, 10 shots at goal, and Redland yet to bother the scorer. So this is danger time here for Redland Footy Club. They're Norton 2, and they're looking down the barrel at home here of a big quarter-time deficit, unless they can really put their nose to the grindstone.
Well, I did see Canberra in the season opener against Southport. And they looked nothing like the side that we've seen so far this afternoon. Damien Stephen comes through, gets a clearance for Redland. Now to Jack Rolls. The left foot goes only as far as Highmore. He can mop up for Canberra. Goes wide. Martin is the target. Just gets it before it gets to the boundary line. Kicks it inboard and finds Maguire. We've got a player down the middle of the ground there for Redland. So Maguire finds a target. That's Smout. Just willing a leading target to come forward, and finds big Nathan Richards, formerly of the Swans Academy. So half forward, out of side, hoists it high, looking for that marking target. Over the back the ball goes. The push in the marking contest. I think it'll go against Cameron Milne, and Redland will get it. Yagmore now has the ball.
Yeah, Jackson Payne really made the umpire have a good look at that one. Good kick and good body work there from Jared Huddy. Late inclusion today for James Barnes, who had an injury. As we see the Redland skipper, now this isn't a good look for them at the moment, is Hayden Batoli-Simmons is coming off the ground in between 2 trainers. We'll get you to keep an eye on that one, Bob. They move it down the outer side. Bailey, inside 50, dribbler of a kick. It's picked up by Highmore. They're moving it too easy, Canberra. Well done by Daniels. Gets the handball away. Another good chain down the outer side. Roberts holds on to it. Has a look. Finds Maguire in the middle of the ground. He's got another man out wide. It's Malign. Long kick. Big contest. Howard spoils Fulford. Well done to Howard. Roves his own ball. Gets the handball away. Some desperate play. So again from Jackson Payne, who dived on the ball. Gets rid of it. Salter. Can't control it. Ball stuck underneath. The umpire will ball it up 30 metres out. But they're just hitting the contest hard, the Canberra Demons players.
That was brilliant there by little Fulford, wasn't it? Fulford and Big Milne really working hard to keep that ball in the forward line, and gives them another chance here from this stoppage.
So Malone got it down. Rees couldn't take it cleanly. Howard. The handball hit the target, but it was fumbled. Now it comes away. Malign goes towards goal. And I say towards because it wasn't anywhere near on target. It goes right across and out of bounds on the 4 on that outer side. So Peter Yagmore will be the man, the Collingwood listed player, or former Collingwood listed player.
Ball
good
stuck
by
up
foot.
The tree, Kanga.
Stuck up the tree.
Stuck up the tree.
Like a koala bear in that tree out the back now. Hayden Batoli-Simmons was in a lot of pain as he came off. It looked like a knee injury, but a leg injury at least. We can't specify it at this stage, but he's really getting some work put into him there by the trainers and the medical people.
And the ball's out of the tree. Yagmore finds his target in Adrian Williams. Now he's got Jai Lyons and Brad Howard. He puts it in between the two of them. Howard bounces kindly for him. Good shepherd from Lyons. Howard has a bounce. Loops a handball over to the 2012 Grogan medalist in Tommy Salter. Gets to the 50. It's a dangerous handball to Copland. Back to Salter from 20, and he dribbles it out of bounds on the full. Probably the most exciting foray forward, but just messed it up in the end there, Bob.
Yeah, they did, but I think it bounced out. I think they've got a stoppage there, at least right next to the point post. And to say they need a goal, badly needed, is an understatement.
Well, what about the pressure from Mitch Hardy there from Canberra? I think that was underestimated to keep working. Huddy had to hit out, couldn't do it for his side. Taylor gets it back, and Canberra will clear. Unable to take it there was none. Now rolls to Malone, the mailman. He delivers it up the forward line. Goes up towards a target. 2 Canberra defenders had the numbers there, and happy to take it out there was Harry Carr. So we'll have a throw in. The ball at least contained a little bit more in Redland's forward 50 in this occasion.
So 30 points the margin late in the first term on NEFL TV through Bar TV. Michael Price and Mark Kennedy calling all of your action. And Bob Batty, the encyclopedia, with all the special comments. Over the back of the pack. Plenty of numbers in and around this contest, including Angus Baker for Canberra, getting his hands to it first underneath. And there will be a ball up 45 metres from the Redland goal. They're trailing by 30 points. It's been all Canberra Demons in this first quarter. They are kicking with a reasonable wind to the left of screen. Beautifully roved there by Thompson. Got the handball away. It's scragged out. Canberra got it though. It's a long kick in the Bruce direction. He takes the mark in front of his opposite number 4 in Yagmore. Now he's just waiting for some options to come forward. He's got plenty in the middle. He's just held it up and he gives it to Maguire in the middle. They want to attack through the corridor, obviously, Canberra. Another pass there. Finds Malign, Lucas Malign.
Just chips the ball inboard, finds Carr. The Carr with the tiny man bun. It's pulled up tight at the back.
Tight man bun.
Yep. Who doesn't like a tight man bun? Mitch Maguire goes out, finds Roberts, and then to Martin. He just kicks it straight to Boyd Bailey. Good set of hands. Now on the rebound is Copeland. Just on that outer wing, not sure where to go. Puts himself under pressure. Boyd Bailey has his kick smothered. Harry Carr's there, rolls, wins the ball. Just picks it up nicely. Not sure where to go, though. Didn't have the support, and that's the problem. Canberra have been there in numbers to pressure. Martin's kick didn't hit the target. Now rolls. He can go the other way, inside forward 50, and just winning the day, or at least bring the ball to ground. There was the Canberra defence. They need to keep it in board here. Now Walsh applies the tackle. The ball spills. Salter gets it out to Rolls. Not the best by foot usually. Puts it into a dangerous spot. Leading the race is Hamilman. Forced to prop. Handball out. Trying to find Telford. Can't do so, but I think he'll win the free kick here, Telford. And so it was scrappy, but Redland come up with the ball.
Scrappy was the word. Best. That was the best word I think you could come up with. They really miskicked that about 4 or 5 times there. Rolls was one of the culprits, but Hamilman fumbled the ball. They've just lost a lot of confidence with ball in hand, but this is a badly needed kick.
Brendan Telford starts it right, and with this breeze, he just had to push at that left-hand goalpost, and you just saw it just faded. Right, and the first score for Redlands is only a minor one as Martin has the ball for Canberra in the back pocket out of side.
It's taken them 26 minutes of this first term to register that score. Big fist from Brad Howard puts the ball over the boundary line. We'll get a throw in at left half forward for Redland. They're trailing by 29 points early doors. A couple of goals to Turner. We've got one to Baker and one to Fulford for Canberra. In front of the old scoreboard. Still waiting for the return of the agate.
Just looking out the back there, but Tolly Simmons is on his feet, but he's not moving all that well. He's hopping around and just testing that leg out. So things aren't looking that great for the captain at the moment.
Well, if he's hopping around on it and testing it out, it looks like it's not a major concern at this stage, but they've got to be careful with that type of talent. Throw in. Malone gets rid of Daniels, then taps it down, goes to Mitch Maguire. Nice chain of handballs. Again, they're moving it directly, Canberra, but it's been kicked to a nest of Bombers. Picked up by Yagmore, gives it to Howard. Howard, a spearing ball. It's intercepted there by Klemke, puts it into the middle, gives it to Mackay. Mackay, and he's got Cade Klemke running all the way down inside 50, meets him at the 40-metre mark. Takes a chest mark with a beautifully weighted kick.
Mitch Maguire just can't stop getting the footy at the moment. He's, I don't know what he's up to there, Kanga, but he's just dominated the last 10 minutes.
11 disposals so far, and he's had a good partner in crime in Sam Martin off half-back, who got into double digits himself with 10.
The coach of the Canberra Demons, Cade Klemke, let's go from 40. Starts it a little bit too far right. The wind not taking it as far as it might have earlier. 4-7-31 plays at one behind, so back to 30 points the margin in favour of the Demons late in the first term.
Well, Bob, is it worth 5 goals, this breeze, in your opinion?
No, I don't think so. I think they've just been outplayed, Redland. I think they should be about 7 or 8 goals up there, some of the shots that they've missed. So certainly not the Breezers doing it, it's their intent, and the way that they're moving the ball is much better than Redland.
So Jackson Payne got it from Scott Miller. He'll be asked to play on Will Payne, so he just lobs it up high. Malone's the man, gets the one mitt up, and that's, you ain't going to catch the ball too much with just the one up, and the free kick will go the way of Canberra. This will be Harry Carr that comes up with it. In fact, he tried to own the ball when the free kick will go the way of Nathan Oakes instead. He's the one that copped the push, and the hard hit up short lead comes from Aaron Bruce right in front of the commentary position here. And the short one again is there with Cade Klemke. So that one in a hurry 10 times. So that's a siren. And at quarter time, it's the Canberra Demons, 4 goals, 7-31. Redland, the home side, just the solitary one behind. The lead is 30 points. Bob Batty, what did you make of that first quarter?
Yeah, great quarter there from the Canberra Demons. I know that Cade Klempe would be happy with their work rate, their endeavour, their use of the footy, but they just wasted a little bit of it when they had their shots for goal. They rushed a few shots that they probably should have put through, but 11 shots at goal to 1 sums it up. They had good players in Aaron Bruce, the coach Klemke, Mitch Maguire we mentioned, Jacob Turner was very dangerous. I like Mitch Hardy's game, and Jacob Conlon down back has been very good, as well as Lucas Maline. And for Redland, it's been harder to find their better players. Hamilton's looked dangerous but been well held. Adrian Williams has battled hard. Peter Yagmore has battled hard, but really they haven't had a clear winner right across the field. So great start from the Canberra Demons. Let's see what Redland can do in the second quarter, see if they can bounce back into this contest.
The only stat, the team stats as far as that goes, is that Redland are winning is the hitouts, 17-2. The rest of them are fairly even, but there's some great individual numbers there. Kango, I'll give you the goal kickers first. You've got Jacob Turner from Canberra with 2. Angus Baker's got 1, and Ben Fulford has the other one. So they're the 4 goal scorers, but the individual numbers can go.
And just the leading possession getters, Mitch Maguire has been good in that first quarter. 11 disposals, 9 kicks, 2 handballs, 5 marks to go with it, mind you. So he's been squaring up well, a couple of clearances. Sam Martin off halfback, we mentioned him. He's got 10 disposals, 3 marks and a clearance to his name. And probably the other one, Aaron Bruce, just want to mention. So 4 marks. So generally he's been hitting up well to get on the end of those short kicks. Doing well there. 8 disposals, 6 kicks, 2 handballs. And on the Redland side of things, Jack Rolls, he's got 8 disposals, 4 and 4. Yagmore, 6 and 1. So a little bit deceiving. He's seen so much footy, 3 rebound 50s. And Boyd Bailey, Damien Stephen, Adrian Williams, and also Brad Howard have got half a dozen each.
Well, we'll be back with the second quarter very shortly. We are streaming live on NEFL TV with our broadcast partner, Bar TV, proudly supported by the good people at Elastoplast. Back shortly. Welcome back to Scottsdale Park for round 3 of NEFL action. It is the Redland Bombers at home to the Canberra Demons, and the Canberra Demons have stormed the Bombers early in this game after the first term at quarter time. 4-7-31 Canberra to Redland 0-1-1. Michael Price and Mark Kennedy calling all of your action with Bob Batty with the special comments. And Bob, just quickly, we'll get an update on Hayden Batoli-Simmons, the Redland skipper, who's still on the bench.
Yeah, still on the bench, got the left boot off, and they're still working with him. Looks like a left ankle. So let's hope he can get back on the field this quarter.
Well, the breeze this quarter will be favouring Redland. Let's see what they can do. Canberra used it well. We're underway. Winning the ball was Canberra from the stoppage. Good pressure there applied by Rolls. So here's the chance for the Bombers. Salter inside forward 50. Martin just spins out of a bit of a trouble there. Off to Carr. Carr kicks short. Doesn't find a target. Goes short to find Collins. Collins not sure where to go, so it goes to the outer side. And they will come out of this. They're at half-back outer side. And the man with the ball is Baker.
Angus Baker. Kicks along down the outer wing. Pack of players fisted down. Redland defence have got it, but well played there by Taylor for Canberra. Big push. The umpire says it was right in the middle of the back. And it will go to the Canberra player in Jacob Turner, the goal scorer. He's kicked a couple. He's right at left half forward. Wants to measure a kick. It holds up into the breeze. Lands in the goal square. Reading it nicely, Jai Lyons, but he's dropped the ball. He goes back in to try and get it. Bruce is there for the Demons. Holds it up at the top of the goal square. Jai Lyons had that for all money. Probably not as much communication as you would like to see from his teammates to let him know that he was okay to take that safely. But there will be a ball up. And Canberra pressing again. Milne slaps it down. It's Damien Stephen for Redland. It's hooked around and out of bounds on the full. It will be a free kick and it'll go to Tom Highmore by the looks of things. Or no, it'll be Oakes who's claiming it again. They keep trying to pinch the ball off Oakes. He's had a couple of free kicks other players have claimed.
This back behind play, Nathan Richards has been down for some 2 or 3 minutes after that marking contest on that far wing. And doesn't look all that good. The medical people are out there and having a look at him. He went down very heavily.
The 18-year-old, he's a big boy. Very good last week with a goal. He's up against it against Craig Malone. But here's Nathan Oakes from the boundary line. Banana! Class finish there from Nathan Oakes. Former Murray Bushranger gets the opening goal of the second term. And Canberra get its 5th, 5-7. 37 to Redland, one behind. They did what Redland couldn't do for that entire first quarter, Bob Batty.
Yeah, no, they certainly have, and they haven't taken the foot off the accelerator. Good to see young Richards is up and about and jogging back up forward. They've got a couple of big, tall targets up there. Milne and Richards alternating up there. They've had Aaron Bruce and Turner, so they got their hands full, the Redland defence, and that was a beautiful finish. He's a silky skilled player, is the boy from Murray Bushrangers, Nathan Oakes.
So the margin now out to 36 points. Good bounce in the middle of the ground. Malone just goes after that bounce. His opposite number, Milne, just gets an errant handball away, allows Thompson to get onto it for Redland, but he can't get far and the ball is tied up. It's forward to centre for the Bombers. Malone again gets a hit out. No great effect. Scott Miller just gets it going Redland's way. So plenty of players around the contest. Miller goes again. Klemke. Always get a bit tongue-tied with that one. Taylor. And also there was Malone. They get out to that outer side. Smouts there. Had a bit of competition from his own teammate. And now the tackle at ground level comes from Redland to tie the ball up. It was Boyd Bailey out there who applied the pressure. So the ball will be thrown in the air by the umpire, 70 metres around from Redland's goal on the outer side.
Umpire Wetton puts it up. Milne taps it down to Taylor. Escapes the traffic, toes it forward, intercepted. Adrian Williams just holding it up for Redland on the outer wing. Looks to measure a kick to right half forward. Pack of players punched away from Payne Rove by Klemke. He can't quite hold on to it. Handball from Malign. They share it again, Canberra. It's with Osborne. He's confronted, gets around a couple, then uses his left foot. Redland will mop up here. Salter, no, intercepted. Fulford, wobbled inside 50. Here's a go for Mackay, strolling into an open goal. Oh, it just keeps getting worse for Redland. Mackay gets his first goal, the Belconnen Magpies product, and number 6 for Canberra. 6-7-43 to Redland, one behind, 42 points the margin, early doors, second term.
Yeah, very big danger signs now. They got their captain off injured. They're lacking confidence. They can't seem to win the contested footy at all. And the hands from Canberra running through that midfield and up the corridor was exquisite, Kanga. It was very good.
It was good, and I probably just want to bring it back a touch, is that Adrian Williams on that outer wing tried to centre the ball and chip the ball inboard. And if you're going to do that at this point in time, when you are kicking with the wind, you've got to be sure to be able to do that with some certainty, to be able to break the play up and get over the line the next one, not put it in almost a turnover situation. Milne gets it down for Canberra from the restart. Maguire, to get another clearance for them. Inside forward 50, going back there. And he's trying to make up for that earlier mistake is Williams. And that was a very nice defensive mark to the commentary side of the ground. Well done by Collins. Just beat Walsh, and the handball just went to nobody except a Redland player in Bailey, and the ball is taken over the boundary line to tackle. So right in front of the Redland coaching box, where some stern words were handed out at quarter time by Lee Harding. The ball will be thrown back in.
You would have thought that they might have responded. That's Hardy who slaps the ball down. Brad Rees, the tackler, ball stuck underneath his Canberra teammate in Mitch Maguire, who's having another fine game after getting a Rising Star nomination a couple of weeks ago. Slammed forward there by Hardy. He goes forward again with Milne. Can't quite pick it up. Tackled there by Rolls. Ball stuck underneath several of them. Umpire will come in and will ball it up 55 metres from goal. That's umpire Cam Manthe puts it up. Huddy slaps it down. Maguire again, another clearance. Kicks it to the dangerous area. That's a very good mark. It's taken there by Adrian Williams, really trying to make up for that earlier error, Kanga.
And kicks the ball out, looking for Payne. He had front spot on that occasion from Carr. Turns around quickly, asked to go now. Kicks the ball on the left foot off one step. Walsh is the target. And right there with him was Collins. Pushed off the marking contest legally. And the ball right in front of us here. We're going to get a good look at this throw-in and clearance, Bob. And we'll see how they all set up.
Scotty Miller's now got the job to go into the midfield. He's gone to Mitch Hardy, who's been very good for Canberra so far.
Slapped down by Huddy, over the back, propelled forward by Baker. Now picked up by Hardy for Canberra, given to Mitch Maguire, having a cracker of a game. Have a look at that kick, beautifully weighted, didn't have to change stride. Angus Baker kicks it inside 50, looking for Turner. It bounces freely for him. Can he pick it up? Good pressure from Redland. Turner still goes. He picks it up, lets loose the ball now. It's underneath the pack. Coming out, Williams tackled. Umpire Richie says, oh, gee whiz, I thought he was going to ping him for holding the agate there. He got taken around the ankle, so Adrian Williams saves the day with a free kick 30 metres out from his own goal.
Lucks of fortune there. Williams has to go off one step again, out towards the same exit path, up towards Huddy and Payne. Payne just handballs to the ground almost, hoping for something. We have a player down, looks like Pake. The ball spills over the boundary line. Just holding his head is Pake.
Yes, Coplin.
And not sure. And there's a free kick paid, and it's going the way of Canberra. And I think it might be for deliberate out of bounds, was it, Bob, or something else?
I missed that. I was watching Pake, who got one on the beak, but he's up and about again, which is good.
So Martin it was. It took the ball, and Richards, baby Huey, came out. Couldn't quite clasp it or grasp it on the second attempt, and the ball held up. Maguire, by no mistake, sheer fluke having the ball when it was umpire called a halt to it. That was Lyon who applied the pressure, and we'll have another ball up. So 48 metres out from Canberra's goal. They are attacking, and they've made all the play so far in this game.
Certainly have, and look, their first, as soon as the ball hits the deck, they've got numbers everywhere, haven't they? They just want the ball a lot more than Redland.
And they're getting it on the scoreboard as well. Extracting it now. That's Jacob Turner. Can't quite get it out. Jack Nunn was in there as well. Umpire said there was a player held without the ball, and it will go to Canberra. It'll go to Jared Osborne. Now that free kick, he's 40 metres out, more or less directly in front, but he's kicking into what we would believe is a breeze worth a couple of goals.
This is a tough kick for him. He's a nice left foot kick and has, probably got the distance if he really gets onto it. It's a tough kick.
He lets go. He's got onto it. It holds up a bit in the breeze, but just fades left last moment. Another behind. So 6-8, 44 Canberra. So they're 43 points in front of Redland, who are the solitary behind, which was scored 25 minutes into the first term.
Yagmore goes off to Caleb Baker from North Launceston. Down the line, Richards comes from the back, impacts the contest, brings it to ground, and the ball spills over the boundary line.
What do you see him as a prospect like Nathan Richards, Bobby? He is a big baby Huey. He's got the legs like John Nichols used to have back in the day as well.
Yeah, look, he's certainly got to improve his mobility and agility around the contest, but he's got the frame, hasn't he? And he loves the contest. He'll have a crack. He copped a really bad knock over there in a marking contest and just showed his courage to get back up and have a go. And he's up against a man mountain in Tiny Malone, so they're well matched, aren't they? Numbers and size.
So Malone, he got the better of that one. Wrapped up there was Donnie Roberts by Matt Thompson, and we'll go again. So just a little bit of a stalemate creeping in here. But Canberra certainly have the momentum. That was baby Huey Richards. Gets the ball forward. Yagmore comes out to meet it, and 3 Canberra Demons around him to wrap it up. The forward pressure's also been good when they've taken inside forward 50. It hasn't just been one-way traffic from that point of view, but it's been around the contest, the pressure around the forward 50. It's come from all parts of the ground.
Throw it next to the boundary. Taylor for Canberra scrubs it in towards the dangerous area. Williams takes it, and Bruce takes him. Holds the ball underneath him. Ball held to him, and the ball up will happen 30 metres from goal, 45-degree angle.
Well, Redland will be thanking God they got Adrian Williams back there at the moment. He's stopped the avalanche. He's stopped about 4 or 5 marks and is the only clear winner in that back line.
Christensen scrubs it towards the commentary wing, picked up by Highmore, gets the handball away, but turned it over. In turn, Walsh turned it over, was Telford, sorry. Now it's to Jackson Payne. Free kick went to Redland. Callum Baker takes the advantage, kicks it up forward. Now it's with Sam Copland. Now what's he going to do here? You might as well go back and see if you can ride the wind and kick it towards the right goalpost and have a ping here. Not a lot of movement for him. He's got Hamilman on the goal line and Jackson Payne in a dangerous spot at the top of the square.
He is a thumping kick. He's not beyond his ability here.
He starts right. It's a bit of a wobbler to the goal square, more or less uncontested.
Great pass.
Yes, great pass, Bobby. Aaron Christensen takes the mark. The absolute floating bag of spuds to the top of the goal square. And this could be the first goal for Redland to get something happening here at Scottsdale Park for the home team. Christensen comes in and bangs it through. Redland on the board with a major. So 6-8-44 to Canberra, 1-1-7 to the Redland Bombers. That's 37 points the margin. We've played around about 15 minutes of the second term.
Well, it's not a confidence booster so much for Sam Copland there, who passed it to Aaron Christensen, but it is a confidence booster for Redland. And they really, to say they needed that was an understatement, just to get back on some equilibrium there and get the game, try and get the game back going on their terms. Now they need to really fire in and work hard around the contest to maintain some sort of continuity to get the ball going their way a little bit more often and how they're going about their footy generally.
Yeah, need a lift from some of their senior players, don't they? Salter's hardly been cited. Damien Stephen, Brad Rees, these more experienced players haven't really got into the contest at all.
Well, Damien Stephen, one of those men you spoke about, inside forward 50 it goes. Hamilman straight through his hands. Klemke's there, Carr's there. He's wrapped up straight away. That's better forward pressure from Redland. It came from Payne. And the ball tied up inside Redland forward 50, and that's probably a little bit more of that enthusiasm and what they'd look for in their forward 50 when they get it in. Malone, almost uncontested. Christensen goes to ground almost voluntarily. He might be in a bit of trouble here as the umpire hovers. And Nathan Oakes will be the man that gets the free kick, I think, because Christensen, he just submitted to that tackle. Kate Klemke it is actually who will win the free kick.
Some more bad news on the injury front there with Bertoli Simmons. He's got the ice now on that ankle, so that's it for the day for the captain of the Redland Bombers.
Better forward pressure from the Bombers as Mitch Maguire. Dangerous kick across the face of goal. Copland did well, brought the ball to ground, keeps it inside 50. Redland players appealing. And umpire Brett Ritchie said no. Going to ball it up, 25 metres out from the Redland goal. They're pressing. Malone slaps it out wide. Again, it's a kick out of the middle of the pack. Gets towards the goal square and punched over the boundary line for another throw in. Right beside the behind post, right forward pocket. 37 points the margin.
Who's going to step up here, Kanga? You've got Bertoli Simmons off the ground, their captain. He's the barometer for them in that midfield. Who's going to be the one or two players in that midfield that's really got to step up?
Well, we'll talk about that in a moment. So we get back to the play just at the second. Canberra, that's Smout wrapped up. Well done. Boyd Bailey was in there. Might be one that can push through the middle of the ground. Another player we haven't really seen too much of is Rees. Usually in and under, and where they need to win the ball is in the contest. Matty Thompson can get around. He's more playing at half forward. He can push through. Canberra come away with it though. And they'll win the ball just forward of half back. And it's Turner with the ball. Kicked a couple already. Right in the middle of the ground. Running for him and doing it well was Sam Martin. Has a player on. That was Harry Carr. Likes to go himself. On the left foot he goes. One-on-one contest and making good ground. And showing a good set of hands. It's Lucas Malign, I think it might be, in front of Stephen Mills. Yes, it is Malign.
It's a good mover, isn't he, Lucas? He's another player through the Giants Academy. Very versatile. He's played mainly through the mid, but obviously can push forward. He's a lovely kick, so this is not out of his distance here.
So he'll kick it from 40 metres. We're right behind it here on NEFL TV, and straight as a die. Kicks it low, kicks it hard, and kicks it true. And Redland are going further behind as Canberra kick their seventh. They move to 7-8-50. Redland 1-1-7. And we have played 17.5 minutes of this second quarter here at Scottsdale Park.
Beautiful kick from half back, wasn't it, where they got the ball up through the corridor. And it was great running from Sam Martin. Like we know, the former Crow as a real quality player. He's a NEFL rep in 2017, and he really showed some experience there by running and creating a space and then delivering the ball beautifully to Malign, who didn't let him down. So great football from the Canberra Demons. They're looking very good.
Looking the goods at the moment, 43 points the margin. Malone wins it for Redland. About the only stat they are winning at the moment is the head-outs. It's picked up for Canberra by Baker. Gets the handball away to Hardy. Hardy to the outer side looking for Osborne. It bounces freely off. It bounced a little wide of him, but it controlled it beautifully. His opposite number 17 in Baker smothered the ball. Got it back for Redland. Kicked it down the outer wing. Bounces over the head of Carr. Redland with the numbers here. They should be able to do something with it. They do. It's a long kick inside 50. Gives Hamilman a chance. Just gave him a chance. He got rid of his opponent too easy. The ball came for him to his advantage side. But at least it gave him a chance, one out, and he takes the mark.
Yeah, beautiful kick from Boyd Bailey, the boy from Frankston. You mentioned players that need to stand up, and you mentioned Rees and Stephen, but Bailey's another one that they really need. He kicks the ball beautifully, and Hamilton puts that one through for his first and Redland second. But a badly needed one, to say the least, but lovely kick from Boyd Bailey, wasn't it? Delightful.
Well, in that instance, in that passage of play, they made it look easy. And what they do possess down forward is Jackson Payne and also Matthew Hamilton, two former AFL-listed players and two players capable of kicking bags of goals in their own right. And the way they got it to that one-on-one contest, put it to the right side and gave, in this case, Hamilton the opportunity, it's always going to pretty much end in a score against, you'd say, an unheralded Canberra defence, and one that could be exposed if they get enough ball down there, Redland.
So we're back to 37-point margin. Redland with their second goal of this term and or the game as umpire Wetton puts it down in the middle again. Two number 19s, Richards and Malone. Malone again. This time it's roved by Thompson. Handball off to Rolls. Ball smothered. It's going to go back to Malone. Hoiked up in the air by Rees. Probably the first time I've called his name in this game. Caelan Baker takes the mark at right half forward for Redland.
It's been a bit lively. Looks like he's a bit of a feisty customer too. Gets it down in front of Payne over the top of his head, around the corner. It was touched off the boot. It was on line. Looked like Telford down there. And a little bit unlucky as Highmore brings it back in quickly and finds Martin. Chip the ball, dangerous kick, but finds Richards, and Canberra, they work hard here. They can bring it out. It's Collins. Collins and a free kick. That was a bit undisciplined, was it? In fact, it was a free kick going back Redland's way as off the ball. Was it against Turner?
I think it's against Ben
Fulford. Against Fulford, the little fella.
He's got a bit of fight in him. He just run up to Craig Malone and give him one too.
Yeah, it'd be like a mozzie bite, wouldn't it, on the back of the leg?
So Goodall comes out. Richards had front spot, so he'll be paid the mark, surely. In fact, no. It'll go the other way. It'll go to Jackson, or Matt Hamilton. No, Jackson Payne, I should say. It was right the first time. I thought Richards had the front spot there, and that's why I thought the free kick was going to go his way.
You're not Robinson Crusoe.
Look, yeah, that's the way I was brought up, Kanga. If you're in front and you got your hands on the footy, the bloke at the back tries to grab it off you, I would have paid the man in front, but not to be. But this could be the break that Redland need. You mentioned the two-pronged big forwards. Hamilton's just got his first. You'd back Jackson Payne to get his first here.
So 45-degree angle, just slides it back on the breeze nicely. The mark might have been a bit fortuitous, but it was a very deliberate shot for goal. And Redland just pull it back a little with the last two majors of the game. They moved to 3-2-20, still 30 points adrift. That was the quarter-time margin. And Canberra, they sit at 7-8-50. We have played 22 minutes of this second quarter here at Scottsdale Park.
Yeah, Tiny Malone, Craig Malone has been instrumental in getting that ball forward a number of times now in the last few minutes. So he's really lifting. He's part of the leadership group, and I'm sure that if they all take his lead, the way he's really attacking the footy and really working hard to get the ball out wide, they can really force their way back into the contest. But they really need to dig deep because it's late into this second quarter and they're still trailing by a fair margin.
Umpire Ritchie will bring the ball down in the middle. Redland making a little spurt of a charge here. It was Malone. Slapped it back down. Gave it to Rolls. Rolls handball over the top to Rees. It's going to bounce here for Baker. Appealing for the free kick there was Angus Baker. So the two Bakers, 117 for Redland, 118 for Canberra.
A couple of Bakers together. What's a collective noun for a baker?
A rise of Bakers.
A rise of Bakers.
Nice. A wheat bag full. There's the two ruckman as well. Milne versus Malone. Malone gets it down. Maguire off the outside of the shoe. It was just bobbled up there. The umpire says incorrectly. Arguing about that is Scotty Miller, but free kick will go to Canberra. It'll go to Lucas Malone having a good game.
Was that the square up, Bob? Because we had a bit of a view of that, and I thought it was a handball.
Like a handball. Definitely looked like a handball to me.
So through the hands of Copland, and just evading it nicely. There was Williams, but the handball did not evade the clutches of Cade Klemke, who, when it arrived to Baker, Klemke just said, "Thank you very much," as he came straight off the bench and absolutely caned Oscar Baker. Well, it's not Oscar Baker, is it?
Angus.
Calum.
Calum,
that one. Bailey wraps Klemke up. Go again. Miller. There's a whistle, and it's a throw. This time it'll go Redland's way. So Miller will have to bring it back, and the ball will come back to Jared Huddy, the boy from Kenmore on the western suburbs of Brisbane.
So Huddy goes across and finds the other Baker in Calum from North Launceston. It's a dodgy looking kick. It's going to bounce just for Boyd Bailey. He turns it over and it ends up with Aaron Bruce, the skipper of the Canberra Demons. They're leading by 5 goals, and he kind of likes his odds here, at least to find a lead. He's got one, kicks it into the path. A great juggling effort there by Malign, is it?
Yep.
Boy, he can take it in front of his eyes. He just controlled that nicely with the second grab. But it was nicely placed in front of him, Bob. Not much the defender could do.
No, lovely kick from Aaron Bruce. Poor kick from out of defence from Calum Baker. When he was clear, he should hit a target.
Malign comes in. He's kicked 1 goal. This one goes across the face. It is out of bounds on the full, right in front of the change rooms. And a free kick in the left back pocket for Redland. It'll come back in from Calum Baker.
And Jackson Payne impacts the contest. He put a bit of exactly that, a bit of pain on his Canberra opponent. And holding the ball is the call, as camped under it was Huddy. And winning the free kick there is Pake. So he'll load up from 60, sits it up to the top of the square. They fly. There is Milne. He should have been actually in the marking contest, the big man. Instead, he was at the fall of the ball, and the ball spills over the boundary line. 15 metres around from Canberra's goal. They're attacking, and they'll want another one just to extend that quarter-time margin to 36 points. It was 30 at that first break. Huddy and Milne. Ball over the back. Just trying to elude plenty was the Canberra player there in Baker. And now off the ground was the big man. We talked about the fact that he should have been in the marking contest before. He was at ground level, and he has capitalised and got that goal that we just spoke about to push the margin back out to 36 points. They moved to 8-8-56. Redland 3-2-20. 26 and a half minutes gone of this second quarter.
Yeah, he's got the headband tape around his... looks like he's got a knock to the head somewhere along the way from probably Tiny Line. But
to be fair, Bob, it's not a good head anyway. So I'd be putting a bit of tape around it too.
Well, whatever he's done, it's worked a treat, because he picked the ball up like a rover, a small forward really. The way he picked that up from the pack, snapped truly, and that was a real steadier for the Canberra Demons. They've got all the answers as we speak.
Yeah, we can't go comparing heads too closely here in the NEFL commentary box, as Malone slaps it down in the path of Stephen. Buffeted off the ball there by Roberts. Good tackling effort as well, as Redland belt it forward to half forward. Canberra with the numbers. Clever handball from Mackay. Unleashes his teammate in Martin. Has a couple of bounces. Gets it to half forward. The handball comes across from Turner, not quite directed it in the Bruce direction as we would have liked to see. Williams jumps all over the top of Nunn. The ball stuck under them. And there's a bit of stink going on in the background between Jacob Turner and Calum Baker. Enter a couple. That just takes care of a couple of players out of the contest. Well done from Redland. Malone picks it up off the deck. At the back. Unrealistic attempt and a push in the back from Matty Thompson. Might as well have a ping. If you can see the runway from that far out, Kanga.
And just in the back play, I saw Matt Hamilman, as Redland butchered that ball in the middle of the ground, just throw his hands up in exasperation. Ball inside forward 50. Malone can't take it. At ground level there was Milne again. He's fancying himself, there's no doubt about that. Maguire gets on the left, one-on-one contest. Bailey does well, gets the fist in there, rolls. He's wrapped up by Milne. That's a throw for mine. Umpire agrees. So the big little man in Milne, he'll go back and shoot for 2 in 2 minutes.
Great work from the big fella, isn't it? Like, Redland have got 4 or 5 little fellas there at the fall of the ball, and he just wanted it more, and a beautiful tackle there on Rolls. Rolls thought he had a little bit more time than he actually did have, and the way his confidence would be sky high after snapping that last goal, so you'd back him from there, Kanga.
So the angle, it won't be an issue. It's really just, can he get it on his boot effectively? And he does. So he kicks two vital ones late in this second quarter, extends the margin to 42 points. 29 and a half minutes gone, and we've talked about the key forwards, but now we've got the resting ruckman doing a bit of damage up there as well.
They've got a few options, haven't they, when it comes down to it? I'm loving the game of young Mitch Maguire in the middle as well. He's Tom Mitchell-esque in the way he's racking up the ball, but he's sharing it about too. The rebound off half-back is exquisite. They're really beating Redland in so many different facets of the game at the moment. Here we go, back in the middle. Richards and Malone. Malone slapping it down. Picked up there for Canberra by Smout. Curls it around to centre forward. Yagmore can't control it. There's your man Milne. Gets in and under. Goes hard. Yagmore tackles. Ball stuck underneath. Williams tackles Bruce, who throws his arms out wide. So I didn't have it. Doesn't matter. The umpire's going to ball it up to true centre half forward position for Canberra. They go at it again. Richards, I'll give this one to him. It's picked up there by Baker. Calum, he loses it. Back for Canberra. Now Oakes kicked a ripping goal earlier on. Bounces it inside 50. Controlling it nicely and passing it was Malign. Oh, it hit his teammate on the chest. Just had to take that one, did Donnie Roberts, but couldn't quite control it. It rolls through for a behind.
Yeah, speaking of silky skills, Lucas Malign, the way he gets around and his agility and his use of the footy has been very, very good for Canberra.
Howard brings it back in. Well done there by Malone. He's probably been the best Redland player for mine on the ground. It's the ball down. That's not a good kick, though. Straight to the coach of the opposition in Cade Klemke on this commentary wing. Is up. Maguire's there. Oh. Williams comes to meet him, but standing firm was Mitch Maguire. That's 18 possessions, 6 marks that is for him. So a leader's game is the young man there. Gets the ball inside forward 50. Milne is the target that occasion, but Mills, number 11 for Redland, he gets the big fist on it and forces it out of bounds.
Yeah, look, we've spoken about Mitch Maguire's game, but he's had a few mates. But look, that was an impressive mark under pressure. Williams coming really hard at him, stood his ground, beautiful mark.
There's a snapper over the shoulder there from Sam Martin, goes straight up in the air by Bruce, towed forward. Now hacked out of defence by Yagmore. It's a 2-on-1. Klemke got in the way of his opponent. Yeah, he did. He tried to make it look like he was flying for the mark.
Angus Baker was the man he pushed.
So ends up there with Telford. Back to Yagmore. He comes out here to Calum Baker, the Tasmanian. Looks likely. Just waited it. A little bit too short. Was able to be intercepted by Harry Carr. His Pake. Overrunning it, there was Mackay. Back to Angus Baker, who gets tackled over the boundary line, and you could hear the Bombers faithful shouting for ball. Not happening. Huddy thought he had a free kick there, but the crowd didn't decide it. It was the umpire's call. Will be a throw in.
Yeah, they really need a lift from some of their senior players, don't they? Matty Thompson's hardly touched it. I don't know why you go high in the air to Matty Thompson now, twice in a row when you got Hamilton and Payne down there.
It's the 2 disposals for Matty Payne. Smout had his kick smothered from the throw in. As the halftime siren sounds, and despite a brief burst from Redland, it's been one-way traffic for the visiting team, the Canberra Demons. They kicked 4 goals in the first quarter with the breeze and then kicked 5 goals against it in the second quarter to open up a 43-point lead at half-time. They have been very impressive in this round 3 clash of the NEFL. Bob, how have you seen some of the highlights and some of the key points in that first half?
Yeah, absolutely dominant, haven't they? They've what's that? 18 shots at goal to 5, and they probably should have led by a little bit more than what they've got here at the moment, 43 points. But Yeah, look, they've been dominant. They've had winners all over the ground. They've been well led. We've mentioned Mitch Maguire, but Klemke, the captain coach, has been good. Love the work rate of Lucas Malign when he's gone forward. Cameron Milnes really lifted in that quarter and did well. Sam Martin, you mentioned Kanga, he's really running well off half-back. And they've got probably 5 or 6 others that would be unlucky not to be listed in their better players. And Redland, different story altogether, I reckon. Malone and Williams and the rest of them really be a little hesitant going to get the pay packet, I think, this week, the way they're going in half a game of footy. And I know the coach wasn't happy at quarter time. He'll be absolutely ripping shreds off them at half time.
Well, the paint will be peeling, I reckon, in there because, as you said, he gave them an absolute spray. And I think the aim will be well and truly focused on some of these experienced players to say, boys, if we're to get back into this at all, it is going to be up to our leaders to guide the young men along.
Absolutely agreed. They've lost Patoli Simmons, of course, for the rest of the game, it looks, with injury. But they've got 10 players, Redland, with less than 5 disposals at half-time. That's half your team with less than 5 touches. That's pretty appalling when it comes down to it. I'm loving the battle between the 2 young midfielders, Bobby, and this is great for seeing the development of young blokes. The 2 rising stars over the last couple of weeks. Redland's Jack Rolls has got 16 disposals, and Maguire for Canberra has 18. Really taking it up to the older blokes, I suppose, from either side. But I love Maguire's work in the middle. We've already talked about that.
Yeah, look, I think he's taking the points at the moment. He's been more effective with his use of the footy, and in and around the contest, he's had plenty of mates, and they're really dominated at the stoppages. And yeah, they should be further in front, I think, at half time.
Yeah, and Redland actually leading the tackling stats 41-30, but that's probably because they've been chasing a lot of Canberra tail as well. We'll be back to dissect this first half and have a look at the second half very shortly. We are broadcasting live, NEFL TV, round 3. With our broadcast partner, Bar TV. And we're back at Scottsdale Park, Redlands, for NEFL round 3. It is the Redland Bombers at home to the Canberra Demons, and at half-time it is Canberra, the away side on their first away trip this year, 9-9-63 to 3-2-20. They lead by 43 points after leading by 30 at quarter-time. Michael Price and Mark Kennedy calling all of your action today with Bob Batty and the special comments. And gents, it's been all Canberra to start with in the first half, Bob.
Yeah, one-way traffic, hasn't it been, Michael? It's been a very professional approach from Canberra. They've won the contested footy. They've used the ball well, had targets up forward, and they've backed each other up, and they've just dominated this game. And Redland need to really stamp their mark on this game in the second half to get back some pride and some passion in their game.
Been outpointed in just about every facet of the game so far of Redland. Canberra have come to play. The only one that they haven't is hit-outs, and this is the man, Malone, who gets that first one for Redland. He's had 29 hit-outs in the first half. Winning the free kick for too high will be... That'll be Smout. The kick wasn't a good one. Finds Caleb Baker for Redland. Now to Payne. He'll need the ball in his hand a lot more in the second half if they're to be in it. Copeland. Not sure where to go, so ends it just hoisting it high. Hamilman got 2 to beat, though, and Klemke just chimes in and takes a good defensive mark in the back half.
Read it beautifully, the Canberra coach. He waits it now. Nice mark taken by Nathan Richards. He takes off, kicks it long, and Adrian Williams cops one from Milne. Takes a nice strong mark in front of the big fella from Canberra, does Adrian Williams. Just shakes it off, gives the melon a bit of a tickle. Kicks it over to Scott Miller. He wants to play on. Handball now to Rolls. Rolls now to Jai Lyons. Goes one way, then the other. Then inside 50. Here's a go. Hamilman at the back. It's slapped down. Well done by Pake. And they use their hands again, the Canberra defence. Klemke hoiks it out to half back. Punch down there by Mackay. Redland with another sniff. Rolls. Jai Lyon. And hang on. There's a whistle behind play. There's a blood rule. Gee whiz. That's... talk about timing. If you Adrian Williams, you just... they had the ball running inside 50 for a goal and the blood rule. Oh, dear.
You know when it's not your day, when things like that happen, but still, let's put that behind them and let's get the next contest. But Williams was a fantastic mark, wasn't it? And cop one in the process, and they want to get him back on the park very, very quickly.
Just wait till the replacement player comes back on. Just looking through binoculars. Alan Christensen in the distance there. Watching brother Aaron. Salter gets a clearance for Redland. Good spoil there by Klemke. Ball now going back Canberra's way. Or good tackle by Yagmore, but coming through nicely. That was Maguire. The kick and the direction probably weren't his best effort, but the effort and the attitude were there. He's following it up again. He'll just about get it again. In fact, he'll win the free kick. So well done, Mitch Maguire. He's had 18 disposals, coming up for 19, and he's going to find a target here in Aaron Bruce with a short hit-up target.
Oh, brilliant stuff again from Mitch Maguire, the Rising Star nominee. And Bruce hoiks it inside 50. Big fly. Canberra with the numbers at the back. Stuck under there. Stephen Mills had it. He was tackled. He's going to be the last to get up here.
Their forward line pressure's been good, Michael, hasn't it? They've kept the ball in there in that area to get another shot at goal.
Malone slaps it forward. Stephen can't quite control it. Takes it over the boundary line. Bruce tackling. And we'll get another throw in. 30 metres from goal. I think you're right, Bob. They're just being... their pressure acts across the ground are really stifling whatever Redland are trying to do at the moment.
So the throw-in comes. Milne and Malone. And the free kick will go off the ball for holding, and it will go the way of Mitch Maguire.
Well, they're starting to worry about the young man. He's had 20-odd touches, and he's controlling stuff in the middle and holding him off the ball away from the contest.
Just the work rate's fantastic, isn't it? Like just that bit of play through the midfield here where he won possession and kicked it along the ground, then got back and tackled and then won it again.
45 metres out, kicks it low, hard. Has it got enough on it? It does. And the 21st disposal for Mitch Maguire is a goal. He's had 4 clearances and 5 inside 50s. And now a goal to go with it. And the margin out to 49 points. And we have played 4.5 minutes into this third quarter. And Bob, is young Mitch Maguire, is he the type of player you think it could be that player that maybe an AFL club or a list or another side might be looking for somewhere further up the chain?
Well, look, you can only just do your best and keep winning the footy and putting your nose over the footy and playing good footy, and that's what he's doing. He's had Rising Star nominations now 2 years in a row, and he's become a very elite midfielder in this NEAFL competition. He's up against AFL players, so you just never know, do you?
So umpire Wetton bangs it down in his last NEAFL game, going on to the AFL. Congratulations to you, Alex. As the ball gets propelled forward for Canberra. Malign, now to Jacob Turner. He darts that left and it goes lefter. Yeah, the wind again. Straight across the face of goal. Out of bounds on the full. Yagmore plays on by hand, gives it to Bailey. Bailey chipping past, puts the pressure onto Jai Line. Good running from Bailey, got the ball back. Chips it to halfback again. Klemke reads it well, spoils his opponent. Gets over the ball, still strong, can't quite handle it. Redland trying to get it over the boundary line, they do so. And it'll be a throw in with a 50 intersects with the boundary at right half forward for the Canberra Demons. They're doing it on the bit now, 49 points, Bob.
Yeah, look, that was courageous, wasn't it, from Klemke, the captain coach. He put his body on the line twice there and intercepted the kick out of defence from Bailey and then put his head over the footy as well. So great work, captain coach.
Well done there by Mill. The hit out away there. Roberts to Smout, just under pressure. Malone. Now Rolls just tries to clear the area, can't do so. Martin just takes the ball, just chips it. Just used a cool, calm, clear vision head just to get the ball to Lucas Malign.
Like the looks of him too, Bob. He was very good last week with a goal. He's already got a goal this week, looking for his second.
Yeah, quality player.
190 centimetres. Fair size is Lucas Malign and hits the post on the near side. So just the minor and the margin out to a neat 50 points in favour of the Canberra Demons.
So Redland yet to trouble the scorers in this third term. Yagmore brings it back in, chipping past, finds Brad Howard. Howard, dangerous kick looking inboard for Baker, so Howard's got to go back in and clean it up. He does, gives it off to Stephen. Now it's going to be a long kick straight towards us in the NEAFL commentary box. The umpire said there'll be a free kick. It was a bit of a push. It'll go against Huddy and it'll go to Alex Pake from North Albury. Copped a bit of a head knock earlier, hence the elastoplast around the head, thanks to our proud sponsors of NEAFL. Big fly at the back, not taken there. The Bombers couldn't take it through Bailey. Ball hits the deck. Baker, Angus Baker, dangerous spot. Good spoil from Jai Lyons. Ground level ball to be won. Thompson did well. Got down, gave it to Rolls, who was tackled. Canberra with the free kick. Maguire plays on and gives it to Don Roberts. He can take a shot, and why wouldn't you hear from 50? No, he's got a leader on. Puts it over his head. It dribbles through for a behind in the end. One behind results, so 10, 11, 71, 51 points the margin as Canberra lead Redland.
Cameron Milne's work rate when the ball's on the ground is fantastic, isn't it? Like he's just another midfielder for them, as well as a ruckman.
Ball quickly from Miller to Howard. They're just messing around here a little bit. Baker, and he does turn it over, gives it to Taylor, and they don't make a mistake, the Canberra Demons, and it goes back inside forward 50, and it finds Luke Mackay, or Mackay, depending upon which part of the world you come from.
Which school you went to. Again, the pressure acts from Canberra, just making Redlands panic when they're actually bringing the ball out of defence.
Yeah, look, their disposal has been horrendous today, Redland, and look, they've dropped their heads even in this third quarter. This game's in danger of going out to ginormous proportions.
So the 21-year-old Mackay kicks it truly. The margin extends to 57 points through the agency of the boy from Belconnen. That's Mackay's first for this afternoon. In fact, his second. And we have played 9.5 minutes of this third quarter. And the one-way traffic continues going just the one way.
Yeah, look, it doesn't seem to have changed too much through that midfield, does it? You got Rolls in there, Rees, Stephen, Huddy. They do much better when Malone's there on the ball. Not having a go at Huddy, he's having a crack and trying hard, but they've got nothing at ground level. Like it's as soon as the ball hits the ground, Maguire, you got Mitch Hardy, you've got Malone, you've got a number of them, Osborne. They're all winning the footy in there for Canberra.
57 points the margin. Canberra giving Redland a bit of a bath on their home deck, one must say. Ball bounces in front of Taylor. He just hands it off. Umpire said, yes, you did. It was like a rugby league half-back pass as it goes towards Hamilman. Bounces off his significant chest. Now Payne shuffles it to Copland. Curls one around from 35. Pate gets back. Saves the day on the line and gets a rush behind for Redland. Their first score since the 22-minute mark of the second quarter. So they go on to 3-3-21.
Canberra bring it back in. Richards is the target, takes a nice mark, does Baby Huey. The handball wasn't as good though. Put his teammate under pressure. It's mopped up by Collins and they go to the far side. And just taking it there was Baker. Chips the ball inside, has Highmore. Hasn't had a lot to do. Now Collins, put under pressure by Highmore. The high ball from Highmore finds Bruce, although he couldn't take on the first occasion. And he went to ground and put his head down and hit the legs of Copeland. So Copeland will win the free kick. Comes back to Caelan Baker. So Redland can attack. Off one step, goes up towards Payne, and he was dragged off the ball, so he'll win the free kick.
That could be Fitty too.
No, I think the benefit of the doubt, because I think he took one step. So I think there's a little bit of leniency given both ways from the umpire. Jackson Payne, top of the square, looking for his tall timber in Hamilman. Roving the pack nicely was Christensen, and that is a beautiful behind.
Looked lovely, didn't it?
It did. Looked exquisite, that behind. Front and centre, excellent. Narrow the margin by one, Redland.
It's the first time for the day so far I've seen a front and centre or a crumbing act from a Redland player, a small forward. So they've been totally outdone at ground level.
And they're being outdone. We're bringing the ball out of their defence as well. Redland just opening the gates and let them come through again. Cameron Mill. There'll be a long kick towards 50. Puts it in the path of none. It's slapped away from him by Goodall. Over the boundary line, we'll get a throw in. Just 55 metres from the Canberra goal. Left half forward. They are absolutely dominating Redland on their home deck. 55 points the margin. Throw in now. It's Huddy gets it down. Well done, Richards got the handball off to Maguire, who's on the end of that chain. Puts it to the top of the square. Nicely done there by Mackay. Controlled it to the deck and bang through. Again, it's just a little bit easy when it gets in there. It just seems to me that the Redland have just about given up, and Mackay from the Belconnen Magpies regardless has kicked his third.
Yeah, good work, great crumbing and smart play. Instead of picking the ball up, he socketed it from about 15, 20 out and went straight through the middle. But I want to give him hats off there to the big fella in Richards. Around the contest there, he won the ball. It was in dispute. Quick hands out the back, and guess who on the back of it was Maguire. He's going to get leather poisoning today. He's knocked up getting the footy, and he's looking at close to about 35, 40 possessions away at the rate he's going at the moment.
I've got to say, and the usual boisterous crowd here at the Redland Bombers home ground at Scottsdale Park in the social club just to the left of us, quiet. You could hear a pin drop there. They're obviously stunned by what they're seeing here from the Canberra Demons and from their own side.
Well, I think they were looking at a competitive game here, but fully expecting that they'd be right in it, if not in front of the scoreboard. Well done by Richard. Smout just handball the ball more in hope than with any great aspiration to find a teammate. We'll have the ball up. I notice Adrian Williams back on the field. Looks like he's wearing a surf life-saving cap. His head's taped up in such a manner.
That's the most creative use of elastoplast I've seen in a long time, Kanga.
Yeah, thanks to our great sponsors, the Neefel Elastoplast. Payne just tries to burst through, gives it to Malone. Now to Howard, puts him under pressure though. McKay is the one that does that. And now coming away, that was Baker who got it from Martin, and the kick from Baker wasn't a great one. Or in fact, it was from Osborne, I should say. Wasn't a great one and just dribbles out of bounds, but it still made it to the forward 50 on this clubhouse side of the ground as Canberra attack yet again. Yeah,
probably the wrong option, wasn't it? The boundary side on this side. Very much harder to kick a goal from this side.
So the throw-in happens. Milne double hands it down. Or putting himself in there was Oakes. Couldn't get it. Thompson scrubs it forward. Miller. It's going to end up bouncing in the path of Hamilman, who's moved up the ground to get involved. Get involved he does. He gets around a couple. Then tries to measure a kick. Did well to Thompson, who's involved. Now, another chipping pass. A little bit too big. Coming through. Klemke sold the big dummy. Then kicks inside 50. In a 1-on-3 there was Hardy. Dragged the ball back in underneath himself. Could have been a little bit lucky. Well done from Jai Lyons, who pressured him. And there'll be a ball up 35 metres out from the Canberra goal.
Gee, those turnovers, they're costly still for Redland. It's made the job a lot easier as they give a free kick away this time, Canberra. And it'll be the young fellow Oakes that gives it away and finds Brad Howard. Must be tough going into work. He works for AFL Queensland, going into work each week when you're down and you work in the Neefel as an operations person. And they've messed this up here again at Redland, and the umpire is standing over it, and it'll be free kick going Canberra's way because they have made an absolute meal out of it. Just couldn't handle it cleanly. And it was Aaron Bruce that just laid the tackle, won the free kick, and can go back and shoot for goal.
Yeah, Boyd Bailey, I think there was the culprit. Just a fumble, like you're under no pressure. Took his eye off the footy, tried to spend it before he got it.
Is that the inferred pressure, though, Bob, that Canberra are putting on them?
Yeah, no easy kicks for Redland today, and that's full marks to the Canberra Demons. They've been fantastic at their pressure around the footy.
So 6 marks to go with his 11 disposals. Aaron Bruce, just the one behind. He kicks it and he levels it up on the scoreboard in terms of one behind previously. Now it's 1-1. That beautiful kick off the boot. Another one to the Canberra Demons, and they move to 13-11-89. Redland 3-4-22. The margin out to 67 points. 17 or so minutes gone in this third quarter. And, you know, as good as Canberra have been, as poor of Redlands have been at the same time, the question is, has it been, as you said, Pricey, that inferred pressure, or has it just been the fact that Redland have been right off their game today just to add to their misery?
Look, I think it's a bit of both. I think full credit to Canberra. They've been very, very good with their pressure around the footy, but Redland have fumbled a lot. They've miskicked it a lot. They've missed targets. Certainly hasn't been a good day for them, but great kick there from Aaron Bruce. Ripping goal.
Used the wind to great effect as Malone gets it down. Thompson extracts it for Redland. Gets it inside 50, bounces for Hamilman. What can the big fella do? Shows his poise and class and dribbles it through for his second goal. That's what we're looking for from Redland. The explosion out of the middle and get it down to the big man. Even though it was at ground level, he can still do something with it, Bob Batty.
Yeah, good work, Matty Thompson. Like, he hadn't had much of it today, but that was a good clearance, and Malone's going to get his hand on it most times, isn't he? Richards has battled hard against him, and Milne's been very good when he's pushed forward around the ground, but Tiny Malone's been very, very good at most of the stoppages and been one clear winner on the day for the Redland Footy Club, who haven't had a good day.
So he's conclusively winning the hitouts, 47-16 at the moment. So he's plus 31 in the hitouts alone.
So 36 of those are accredited directly to Craig Malone, with the other 11 to Jared Huddy. And conversely, Milne's had 10 and Richard 6. There's another one for the big man in Malone. A kick forward from Thompson, just hoists it high, looking for a target. Payne couldn't take it. Miller just kicks it, looking for the inside out. Didn't connect properly. It's going to go out of bounds, so that's not a bad result for Redland. And 61 points is the margin. They'll need a lot to go right from here. And at least the ball will stay in that forward line to be able to have a crack at getting a clearance and another goal.
Yeah, good jump of the footy from Payne, wasn't it? He really made a contest there against 3 opponents. Got the ball to the ground for Miller to kick it forward.
Throw in. Oh, Huddy gets rid of Richards, then misses the ball. Stuck underneath. Can't extract it. Christensen it was, who was tackled high. Obviously, a family skill. Is the shrug. Did well to get that free kick. He'll have a shot from around about 25 metres out on a tight angle.
Well, he's here, the brother. He's Alan Christensen, standing in the forward pocket, not actually far from where Aaron's about to kick it.
So Aaron Christensen from Werribee comes in. Let's go. It goes across. No, it sneaks in. So 2 goals in quick succession from Redland. The Social Club gets a little bit more vocal as well, as the margin is now back to 55 points. 13-11-89 to Canberra, 5-4-34 to the Redland Bombers late in the third term on NEFL TV through our broadcast partner Bar TV.
Yeah, look, I think the aim is obviously to try and win the second half, isn't it, for Redland? I think going to be very, very difficult to get anywhere near a winning score, but if they can at least give the supporters and the people here that come and support Redland Footy Club something to really grab onto at the end of this game with a good second half and show some real ticker, I think that's something that at least they can try and get out of this game now. They need 18 tiny Malones at the moment.
And a bit more purpose going inside forward 50 like the last couple of forays for mine. Malone again rolls. He's been the leading possession getter for Redland. Getting there first was Miller. Good handball. Finds Salter. This is a better build-up. Payne has it. No, he doesn't. It just eludes him. Conlon did well in the finish. Right there again was Payne. Hamilman gets around one, then kicks it around the corner. It's going to bounce, and it is touched. So only a minor. But again, a better build-up. They got the ball in quicker, and all of a sudden they looked a fair bit more dangerous when they went forward.
Yeah, well, Malone and Thompson and Miller are just getting the ball out each time out of those centre bounce contests. And as you mentioned, all day, they've got 2 or 3 targets up forward, Hamilman and Payne, that are dangerous, but they're just not getting in there often enough.
So Collins kicked it long down the outer wing. Canberra again looking to share the ball with Hardy. He loops it over the top. Long kick there from Malign, inside 50 at the back. Richards, and roving it nicely was Fulford. Just at the feet of Baby Huey, he hit that pack at absolute pace, did Ben Fulford. Comes through and kicks his second goal just to shut the Redland crowd up again. 14-11, 95, back to a 60-point margin, 5-5-35.
Yeah, look at the Redland bench probably summed that up when they yelled out to the big Jared Huddy to make some ground. Nathan Richards just floated forward, was 50 metres away, and Huddy was daydreaming. Don't know what he was doing. He wasn't out there playing footy, and ball got to the ground, and Fulford's been lively, hasn't he? He's very quick, very lively. He's kicked 2, North Albury product, and he can play.
Made his debut in the NEFL in 2013, did Ben Fulford with Queanbeyan. So he's been around for a few years now. Back in the middle we go. Thompson gets it forward. We'll give another hit out to Malone. So half forward. Just reaching in there was Telford. And holding the ball will be the call. Christensen will come up with it, as Canberra didn't try to move it quickly. It was Taylor who was the man penalised. Christensen puts it up high. One-on-one contest. Payne's there, working hard there to get involved. There was Milne. Carr, Milne, Smout. So they're running the ball out of defence. Smout again. Half back now. Gets it to Martin. He likes to run with the footy. Gives it over the top. Now to Oakes. Oakes is the one that coughs it up and finds Williams at half back. Wearing the unfamiliar number 31 now after Brad Howard, who'll try and put the ball over the other side of the ground, the commentary side of the ground. And it's a foot race.
It is a foot race. Winning it was Angus Baker. Tackling him to the ground was, Turner. Chipping it across net, a half back. Reese kicks it forward. Klemke read it beautifully and a double grabber over the top. Not bad when your coach is actually playing this well. How do you review yourself on a Monday? Be very interesting. Lucas Malign at right half forward, 70 metres from goal. You can put it into a dangerous spot. You've got Richards making his way to the goal square. Instead, he spears a ball to Bruce. It's Isaac Taylor out there. That was a spear of a pass. He just got out. He only had 2 metres on his opponent, Bob, and opponent had no hope whatsoever.
Yeah, look, they've led up at the ball carrier very well today, Canberra, and they've their short kicking game and to a leading target has been spot on. They haven't missed many targets by foot. Certainly Lucas Malign, he's been very, very good with those 30-metre low passes to teammate leading towards him.
Isaac Taylor, 23-year-old, the Belconnen Magpies product. Comes in, let's go from 40. It's a wobbler. It goes, it just falls through. Did Huddy get a hand to it? No, he didn't. Goal umpire says a goal to Isaac Taylor and the 15th to Canberra. And under the old policy of the first to 100 wins, that's the game. 15, 11, 101, plays 5-5, 35. And Bobby, we talked about you wouldn't want to be up to 15 goals by three-quarter time.
Well, in that second quarter, we saw a little burst from Redland, didn't we, over about a 6 or 7 minute period where they kicked a couple of goals. They looked like they had a bit of life. And then in the ensuing 10 minutes afterwards, Canberra came back and then hit back on the scoreboard with a couple of goals of their own. In that second quarter, it was Milne, who played the small man's role as a big guy. And then in this quarter, it's been a good team effort to really respond to that little burst by Redland. And they're underway. That man Milne gets involved again. Hands and knees there was Rees. Can't find a target though. Going hard there was Damien Stephen, but coming up was Osborne for Canberra. Inside forward 50, Mills with the spoil. Malign leads the race now. Yagmore trails. Malign almost evades, but the ball was actually over the line. Overthrow in, another clearance and more ball going Canberra's way. Bob, inside 50s, 46-25.
Yeah, a domination, and they've had 10 individual goal kickers, Canberra, to this point, and Redland have had 3. So that just about sums up the game. They've had multiple targets. Redland hardly got it in there.
Huddy gets it down for Redland. Now it's Jai Lyon holding the ball underneath. Just hovering over the top of them was Ben Fulford trying to get the holding the ball decision. Nothing happening. Ball didn't move. The umpire said we'll throw it up right here, right now. Milne gets the ball down. Redland still having trouble extracting it. Good tackling effort there by Angus Baker. Holds the ball in again. So you could throw a hanky over around about 20 players in the right forward pocket for Canberra.
Defensive pressure's been fantastic from their forwards, hasn't it, Canberra?
So the ruckman couldn't get near it from either side. The ball spills out. And was Baker who was onto it quickly. Angus had a little flying shot at goal just to the near side. So another minor pushes the margin out to 67 points as Yagmore brings it back in. Looking for Rolls. Couldn't take it. Rees is there. Bruce. They call him Bruce as he put the absolute martial arts on his opponent and wrapped it up. Forward 50 for Canberra.
Umpire throws it up. Huddy slaps it down, roving it there. Baker gets it back now to Roberts. Through to Taylor. Carr puts it up in the air, smothering effort, back to Carr. He sees something he likes, drops it out in front of the teammate. Jackson Payne gets there. Pake picks it up, shrugs off an opponent, wheels around onto the left shoe, kicks it towards the goal square, touched on the line. Alex Pake, the defender, the big fella, nearly brought the commentary box to life. 15-13, 102, 103. Plays 5-5, 35. Redland under the hammer.
It's good to see Angus Baker. He's had a knee injury and missed most of last year, the Swans Academy player.
So Baker, that was Angus Baker, I just spoke about, got the smothered ball and had a flying shot for goal and just put it to the near side. Just squeezed it in for a behind, in fact. So again, that pressure from Canberra keeps coming home to roost as Yagmore, he roosts it, one of his own, out towards Bailey, but Klemke did well and claims the mark, and the umpire agrees with him. So on the outer side, 70 metres from goal, pops it up, and over the back there was Mills. Couldn't take the mark. It ended up falling on his chest and then spilled over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw-in instead. So nothing going right for Redland today, and plenty going right for Canberra. They have been by far the better side and far the more deserved leader and substantial leader in this game.
Well, they're bringing their possession, clean possession and disposal to the game. It's going to bounce in front of Oakes. He's tackled without the ball. Umpire Wetton comes in and says, hang on. He spotted a free kick. I think it was Oakes actually put the arm up and fended into the face of Stephen Mills. So Mills will take the free kick for Redland in the last line of defence. He's been hammered all day, Mills. He kicks it long towards Huddy and Richards. Richards, big fist back inside 50. Williams comes out, the ball dislodged from his grasp. Canberra again through Hardy. A long kick, dangerous spot. Big fly, Lions at the back. Indiscriminate handball over the top. Beautiful work from Canberra and towed through from Mackay for goal number 4. How's about the handball over the melon, the no look, and then another one straight into the run of Mackay. Everything they're doing is coming off. 16, 14, 110. Plays 5-5-35. It is 75 points the margin.
Yeah, no, you've summed it up well there, Michael. It wasn't one in hope because they knew where their teammates were, and Lucas Malone was the one that had the second handball. I can't quite pick up who the first one was, but whoever it was, it might have been big boy in Baker. I'm not sure. Could have been Baker or even Turner. But, gee, it was a great handball over the back. And, yeah, he's been in the right place at the right time. Luke Mackay, that's his fourth, the boy from Belconnen.
Back in the middle again. Malone. Rees just dropped it under pressure. That was Oakes who provided that pressure. Christensen has the run of it, but beaten to it in the finish. It's Howard that goes hard, just holds up his opponent. We'll have a stoppage there. That's Baker, Angus Baker, been very impressive this afternoon. Malone with another hit out, rolls. Not sure where the handball was going to as a player under pressure. Thompson applies the tackle. Well done there by Pake. Baker again for Canberra. The kick is a scrubby one forward. Jai Lyons just gets the fist in front of it and then wins his own footy, kicks the ball up. Can't find Rolls on the full. Now he'll get it on the bounce, and that is sums it up nicely because that was out of bounds in the full, and we should be doing a bit better than this at this level.
Yeah, just a little bit of pressure there from Oakes, but it wasn't so much pressure that you'd think that a player of the quality of Jack Rolls will put it out in the full. But Canberra move forward again. Mitch Hardy inside 50, floating across, and Jai Lyons lost his opponent there in Ben Fulford, who's already got a couple, chips it forward, and there is Taylor. Sorry, it is Bruce again. Aaron Bruce, the skipper of the Canberra Demons. He's kicked a couple of goals last week, hasn't troubled the scorers today. Gets a chance to kick Canberra's 17th, and this is becoming a bit of a process, as they say.
Certainly is, and look, Redland haven't got much of the footy, but when they have got it, they've turned it over, and that was a terrible kick there from Jack Rolls. He was under some pressure, but not that much as Aaron Bruce goes bang and kicks his second for the quarter. And look, we said at half-time, we hope that it doesn't blow out to 16 goals to 5, and have a look what the scoreboard says, 16 to 5. It's been an absolute, three quarters so far for Redland has been non-existent, and Canberra, full credit to them. They've come to play, they've teamed well, and they've looked a really coherent side today.
So it's demolition and capitulation, I think, are the two words we can use. And they're meeting in the middle because it's a demolition that Canberra brought to this game, and I think it's a bit of a capitulation from Redlands.
And they're getting it too easy. We've talked about it earlier, but getting it too easy out of their own defensive area, Canberra, when it gets there, and they're just moving the ball too quickly through the corridor.
That's it, 8 goals to 2 in this third quarter. They can go forward. Salter He gets the ball off quickly. Rees, Boyd, now Malone. He's been on his Pat Malone in terms of performers. Payne can't take the mark, but then butters up. Thompson, handballs over the top, just doesn't find the target. Makes it very difficult for Miller as the three-quarter time siren sounds. As I just mentioned, it was 8 goals to Canberra, 2 to Redland. The procession continues. The demolition of the Canberra Demons, of Redland by the Canberra Demons. It's now 81 points at three-quarter time, 17-14, 116. Redland 5-5-35. All the numbers going Canberra's way except hit-outs, but it is where it counts on the scoreboard that Canberra have been absolutely hurting the Redland Bombers.
Yeah, domination is the word, and yeah, very impressive today. They haven't had a player that hasn't contributed, Canberra, and I would hazard a guess that Redland have had probably 9 or 10 that haven't contributed whatsoever or very minimally. So they're all looking at each other, hands on hips, and they just seem to be rudderless and leaderless today. The Redland faithful will be very frustrated with the performance here at their home ground. They were hungry for a victory. They've been right amongst it the first 2 rounds, and unfortunately today they just haven't bought their game.
Well, Canberra plus 52 in disposals, 264 to 212, and the only stats that we can see that Redland would be leading in would be the tackling stats, because they're chasing a lot of Canberra tail, 53 to 39, and the hit-outs 54 to 19.
But inside 50s, I mean, Canberra are twice as many, so 50 to 25. But you think about the dominance of the hit-outs that Redland have had, yet the clearances are actually going Canberra's way, and they're going that way 33 to 29. So for all the dominance of Craig Malone, it has been the smalls of Canberra that have been winning the day and taking the ball their way and pumping it inside 50 repeatedly.
Yeah, no better exponent of that than Mitch Maguire, the number 8 for Canberra. 24 disposals. He's had 4 clearances and 7 inside 50s. And Smout, in and under, 7 clearances as well. We'll be back very shortly with the final term here on NEFL TV through our broadcast partner, Bar TV, and we are proudly supported by the good people at Elastoplast. Back shortly. We're back at Scottsdale Park in the beautiful part of Brisbane we call Redland. It is the home ground of the Redland Bombers. Not beautiful for them at the moment. They are being visited by Canberra, who are crunching them on their home deck. At three-quarter time, it's 81 points the margin, 116 plays 35 after they led Canberra by 43 at half-time and 30 at quarter-time. Michael Price and Mark Kennedy calling all of your action with Bob Batty in the special comments seat. Here's Mark Kennedy.
And winning the free kick from the scrimmage was Matt Thompson. A little bit more lively in that third quarter was Matt Thompson. So he'll go back. At least put them into attack. Hoists it high. Might be praying for rain, or at least a mark. Klimke couldn't handle it. Hamilman gets it at ground level, goes around the corner, can't pull it back far enough to trouble, at least for a goal, but got a minor. So the margin put back to 80 points as Canberra bring the ball back in. Here's a Smout.
And the little handball over the top with his teammate under pressure. Here he is, Baker, Caleb Baker, hoists it in the air to the goal square. It's off hands. Oh, Canberra still keeping it in. Pake now. Got around a couple a little bit too easily, then kicks it long. It's going to be a big pack. Bruce at the back, slaps it forward. More hands, and they use it well. Oakes gets tackled, though. Lets loose the ball. That was Williams being tackled around the leg. Copeland gets a handball away. It's going to get back to Williams. No. Gets to Reese. Reese curls it around, and Canberra had two defenders standing there waiting for the ball to come. That one was Malign, and they'll move it down the outer side.
See Hamilman down behind play with the trainers, so that'd add salt into the wound if he's badly hurt.
Donnie Roberts. Sounds like a name he should be on Miami Vice. Gets it to the outer wing. They're going to cough it up here. Miller just slaps it in the path of Malone, but just getting there first was Baker. But Redland will pick it up and get it down the line. Ends up with Jai Lyon. Just the 5 disposals to three-quarter time. Now to Caleb Baker. So 2 Bakers playing. Caleb, this one for Redland, and Angus for Canberra. Canberra win the ball. Carr. Donnie Roberts coughs it up. Lyon stands in the tackle, gets around. Now to Christensen, but the ball is, in fact, it's a free kick. Might be after disposal with Lyon thrown down. So Jai Lyon will take the free kick. Just asked to get back behind his mark before he plays on. .45 metres out. It's touched off the boot. Ball spills over the back of the pack. Smouts there. Couldn't handle it. Christensen works hard. Ties him up. What's the umpire going to say? And it's held to him. So we'll have a ball up. Forward pocket on this clubhouse side of the ground with Redland attacking.
Yeah, unusual to see a Canberra player fumble. They've been so clean, and he had a bit of space there, Smout, and he's been a good player, but fumbled there in defence, and it's unusual to see that from the Canberra boys today. They've been very clean.
Christensen couldn't pick that up. Ball still in dispute. It's hoiked out of there by Angus Baker. There's Telford. Sorry, Fulford. Toes it forward. He's going to get the ball back. Now shows his speed. Can he get away? No. Great tackling, Brad Howard. Could be holding the ball, absolutely. Could be 50 metres as well. Howie appealed for it. Umpire Wetton says no problem. So that'll take him down to at least half forward. As Howie got the distance in him here. He'd have to let it go from right on the edge of the square. That wind, not as prevalent as it was in the first term here at Scottsdale Park. He's got a fair bit of movement. Puts it into the pocket looking for Hamilman, who got rid of his opponent with his brute strength. The 2 hands in the side. Got rid of him, takes the mark, and he'll line up for goal number 3.
Yeah, did just about everything right there, Jacob Conlon, to spoil that one, and Hamilman showed great body strength to push him out of the contest and take a slips catch.
3 goals last week from Matthew Hamilman. Let's see what he can do. He's lining up for his 3rd again today. Starts it right, just gets through. Another coat of paint on the woodwork there. Might have hit the post, but it is his 3rd goal, Matthew Hamilman. A bright spot in the day of Redland, 6-6-42. They trail Canberra 17-14, 116. We're back to 74 points the margin.
Yeah, look, he He's certainly looked dangerous, hasn't he? I think Alex Paish has played quite well on him. He's had Taylor on him as well. Jacob Conlon on him as well, and they've both tried very hard. But Hamilman's been dangerous. He's been their best forward, no doubt at all about that. And good to see him up and about. He was down there behind play, so obviously not a bad injury.
He's looked dangerous when he's had a one-on-one contest, hasn't he? Matthew Hamilman. Just hasn't happened anywhere near often enough for Redland's liking. First time Redland have kicked the first goal of a quarter today. And going off the ground there was the player in Hardy. It was Redland trying to mop it up. Here's Baby Huey, Nathan Richards. Carr gets the kick away. Inside forward 50. Fulford's there. Just leaping at the back was young Donnie Roberts. Miami Vice. He's got that sort of a name about him, Donnie Roberts. And kicks his first for this afternoon. And as we see, Redland just get one. And then Canberra have had all the answers all of the day today. The margin back out to 70, in fact 80 points, and we've played 5.5 minutes of this last quarter.
Yeah, look, he's had a few chances today, Donnie Roberts, at kicking goals, and that was a nice finish, wasn't it? He, the little fella Fulford flew high at the footy and got a fingernail on it, and he roved it beautifully and ran in and kicked it very, very neatly from 40 metres. So, look, he's been a handy player without setting the world on fire, but they've got probably a dozen of those players that have really contributed throughout the day, and he's one of those.
32 scoring shots to 12 in favour of Canberra. Just about every stat in favour of the Demons as well, except for the hit-outs and the tackles.
We've just been past another stat that Canberra's highest winning margin was 43 points back in 2016 against the Brisbane Lions, and it looks like that record will be broken this afternoon.
Not bad when you consider they're away from their home deck too. Angus Baker kicks it long. Gets it there towards Jacob Turner. He kicked the first couple of goals of the game for Canberra. It was about 16 goals ago. The Turner. There's a nice bit of byplay going on behind the play between Copeland and his opponent in Martin. The kick just got held up in the wind. Redland should be able to get this out. Here comes Pate though. Read it nicely, couldn't quite take the mark. Buffeted off the ball there. Well done by Telford. He gets it over the top now to Reese. Reese pressured and then kicks long. It's for Hamilman. Can he make it? He does. Well weighted by Reese. So Hamilman, basically where he kicked the last one, can line up for goal number 4.
Yeah, Brad Reese hasn't had much of the footy, but just shows you what he's got, the class and he's got the ability to hit targets. Just hasn't got himself into the game today, but that was a beautiful kick. Gave Matthew Hamilman every chance here, and he should kick his 4th.
Well, he comes in, starts it right, and a little bit too far right. So just a behind. So 43 plays 122. It's back to 79 points in favour of the Demons.
Another record that Canberra have broken and will break. It's just a matter of how by how far. Highest score in the NEFL. What a lovely mark there by Brad Howard. We'll get back to that stat in a moment. Courtesy of Jess Webster, NEFL Media Manager. A couple of these stats coming through. Howard pumps it back inside forward 50. Nobody's really there, though, except the coach of Canberra, Cade Klimke. He'll be a happy man and a relieved man this afternoon, as Canberra will break their duck. Their highest score previously was against the NT Thunder of 104 points. Adrian Williams can't quite take that one. And they are already at 122. So another record broken there as the scrimmage ensues. Right in front of the commentary box here, the NEFL, proudly supported by our broadcast partner, Bar TV. And of course, the NEFL is sponsored by Elastoplast. Thanks to both of those wonderful organisations for being part of our coverage this afternoon.
Huddy gets it down. Looped over the top there by Martin. Martin and Maguire. Over the top. Nicely collected by Fulford. Spears a ball now to Nunn. Nunn over the top. That's a little bit too easy with their ball movement. Well played. And it's Luke Mackay's lining up for goal number 5.
just skill by foot, isn't it? They've made Redland look second rate with their skills and the pressure that they've put on them, but alternatively, Redland have put no pressure whatsoever on Canberra, and they just waltz through then.
Okay, the 21-year-old Luke Mackay leans back, and that's a bag for the young man. 5 goals to the Belconnen Magpies product, Luke Mackay, and 19 goals to Canberra. 19-14, 128 to Redland, 6-7-43. It is 85 points the margin, the highest margin in the game so far.
Let's give them plenty of credit today, Mark. They've got a very young list. They've got a few experienced players. Obviously, the coach, Klimke's a lot of experience. You've got players such as Sam Martin, Isaac Taylor have been around a bit, but a lot of young kids in here. And for the future, it's a really good positive sign for Canberra, and they're going to be competitive against all comers, I would say, based on this performance.
Been very good. So that one will be recalled. Another addition to the coaching staff, Beck Goddard is coming as part of the Canberra Demons. Of course, the coach of the Adelaide Crows women's team, relocating to Canberra and being a part of it. So they've got some real positive moves coming forward in the Canberra Demons stable. Generally, Salter, Lions, both are tackled very well by the Canberra Demons and force a stoppage just forward to centre for Canberra. Malone and Thompson get another clearance. Copeland, spoiled there by Highmore. Martin, it's been a bit of a general down back here in Klemke at least, and this time it'll be Stephen. Gets it down, and there it is. 1-on-1. We said it a bit earlier. When the opportunities arise, he's tough to stop Hamilman, but the ball just hasn't got down there anywhere near enough, but he's already got 3 for the afternoon.
Just watching Matthew today, I've watched a lot of him. I'll wait till he has his shot first.
Comes in, keeps it low, and puts it through for number 4. So a bit of a lone hand down there. And that is the 7th goal for Redland. They move to 7-7-49. Well adrift of Canberra. 19-14, 128. We've played 12 and a quarter minutes of this last quarter.
Yeah, just following on those comments on Matthew Hamilman, he came from a cricket background. His father played shield cricket for Queensland, and Matthew was in between whether he wanted to go footy or cricket. One thing that he's really worked on is that use of the upper body. He's got much stronger, much bigger through the AFL program of the Lions. And his body work there in this quarter especially has been first class. And he used to rely on his leading to get a lot of his marks. Now he used his body very well.
Back in the middle, Malone wins it for Redland. Slaps it down. Thompson tackles his opponent into the ground. That was Alex Smout coming up with the ball. So umpire Manthe clears the decks behind him. Milne reaches over the top of Malone, gets a hit out to Maguire, who goes back in. Goes for his second shot at the ball, tackled by Payne and Jai Lyons respectively. Then we'll get another throw. Here's Malone versus Milne. Malone gets that one. Yet another hit out for the big fella. It's stuck under there, umpire circling, and ball's travelled about 1.5 metres in 3 contests. We'll have another crack at it here, see if they can extract the ball. Milne and Malone. Malone gets it down. Payne. He just hoiks it out. Inside 50. Hamilman! Had his name written all over that. 40 metres out directly in front. Let's see if he can get a bag of 5.
I think young Jacob Conlon's body language there on the mark. Thinking, well, he's outdone me in the body contest, and now he's taken hangers on me. So he'd be a little bit dejected, but he should go back and kick his 5th here.
Leans back on it. It starts left. Oh, it's straight through the middle. Matthew Hamilman, 5 goals. Not bad when your side's kicked 8 for the game. A lone hand up forward indeed. 8-7-55 is Redland. Trailing Canberra 19-14, 128. It is a 73-point margin as we speak.
Well, I mean, Jackson Payne is pushed in the middle now, so it leaves Hamilman as that lone target up there, essentially. I mean, Huddy there is probably that resting ruckman, but he's probably not the target that normally would be up there. But I suppose one-on-one, and they've made a bit of a change, put Pake back there as well now. So just to level things up. But Hamilman, opportunities, you take them when you get them, and he has done that. 4 goals, or in fact 5 goals, 3 for the afternoon. 8 scoring shots as we're underway again. Malone, another hit out. That's 49 for the afternoon. Payne tries to palm one off. It gets a handball away. Overrunning it there was Collins. Picking it up there was Carr. Did well. One-handed. That didn't go the required distance. So there's Richards. And now back to Collins from Martin. And a little bit of angst from Payne after he got rid of it. Malone can't quite take it. The ball not kept in by none, and the ball will be thrown back in. Forward 50 for Canberra.
He's added a little bit in the midfield, hasn't he, Payne, since he's gone in there? He's making his presence felt. He's a big body, and he's knocking a few blokes out of the road, and that's probably what they needed earlier in the day when Charlie Simmons went down.
Might have been a little handy earlier on, Bob, as Canberra bring the ball back out. Here's Collins. Hoiks it inside 50. Here's a one-on-one. Milne, and punched away from him by Williams. Nicely roved there by Hardy. Curls back into the middle, and it's hit there by Stephen Mills. Saves the day for Redland. Gets it out to Tom Salter, and they're out and down the outer side.
Goes to Christensen, half back. Now they're held up a little. Just shapes it up to Rolls. It's neatly done. He's accumulated a fair bit of the ball. Rolls as disposal number 24, just probably doesn't use it as well as he could, and doesn't put it to the advantage of Salter on that occasion, and just killing it was Oakes.
He hasn't had a lot of mates in the midfield, has Jack Rolls, though, admittedly. He's been under a lot of pressure from his Canberra opponents. 5
tackles, 7 clearances, 2 inside 50, so it's a serviceable game, but it always comes back to how you use the ball when you've got it, Bob.
Certainly does, and that's been the difference. Maguire, he's been really positive with his disposals, and Rolls certainly needs to really lift in that area.
So Redland bring it away again. Just working hard on that occasion. That was Goodall. Goodall chipping ball finds Rolls. 25 disposals. Hamilman just approaches it. Well done there by Walsh at the front and centre, but hits the post with his snap. So only a minor. So a little bit of an improvement. They're ahead in this quarter, but so far behind in the game. So a few little positive signs, but it's too little too late. Bob Batty is in the back pocket. Lucas Malign has it.
Malign long down the line. Richards at the back. Malone at the front. Malone got the better of it. Goodall. Yagmore inside 50 to Hamilman. Using the body as well. Malign did beautifully. Got the ball back to Collins, who rides that ball close to Bruce, but then kicks it over the boundary line. And it'll be a free kick, and it'll go to Damien Stephen. He's about 70 metres from his own goal. He's right on the boundary line here. Fancies his chances, methinks. Why not this late in the game? No, it was all a bit of a bluff. He was waiting for Jackson Payne to get on the move, found him with the lead. 50 metres out, 45-degree angle. We'll follow this one. We're right behind it on NEFL TV.
Yeah, got a good view of this one, and look, it's within his range, I would have thought. If he kicks to that right goalpost, it should come in beautifully. Connection's the key. If you don't hit it quite right, become a little bit of a helicopter kick, it'll hold up.
2 goals, 5 last week for Jackson Payne. He's kicked one today. Starts that one right and it stays there. Punch through, one behind. 8-9-57 for the Bombers. Now 72 points behind Canberra, 19-14, 128.
Cade Klimke has the ball. He's assessing his options. Looks to be coming this side, on the commentary side, but says, no. That's a bit of a ruse. I'm going out to Pake. Pake goes down the line, and Richards just stands tall. He's a big young man.
How do you see his game, Bob? Like, I mean, Malone's really won the hit-outs, but the young fella's really kept going all day, hasn't he?
Yeah, look, he has a crack, doesn't he? He's certainly brave. he's been hit hard a couple of times, and he's got up and been a part of it. And he's looked for the offload every time he's got the footy.
So the ball, it's there now. Martin just finds the chipping ball, looking for Milne, the big man, just tries to handball over the top, and it was Malone resting back there. Now Turner kicked a couple of goals early in the game, just coughs it up. Now Redland are away. They've got Rolls on the outer side, and further afield it is the man Baker. So Caelan Baker is not sure where to go. Now, does he get around his opponent? No. Gets the handball away, though. Walsh, he'll get around his opponent. Now straightens up. Unable to take the slips. Catch was the man with two first names, Damien Stephen. He's wrapped up. Now Baker. That was Canberra Baker. And giving away a free kick was Huddy. It's advantage, and Collins gets it down, and Aaron Bruce at half forward's got the ball.
Bruce kicks it long in the direction of Turner, dropping back. Well done to Stephen Mills. Dropped back in the hole there. Took the mark. Chips it in front dangerously. Goodall can't control it. Good body work. Make sure that Maguire can stand there and curl one around. Well done to you, Don Roberts, putting the pressure on. He's still on the ground, Don Roberts. His teammates are tired. They get around him, though. He's might be in a little bit more trouble than we think there. Just got the glasses on him, but Mitch Maguire gets his second. And that was kind of typical of the day, Bob. The pressure, the turnover, and the easy score.
Well, the turnover was the key, wasn't it? A 15, 20-metre kick from Mills, who took the mark in defence and took a courageous mark, and then undid all his good work by kicking a shocker that would have gone 15 metres and missed his target. And then, as you said, the one percenters that Donald Roberts did then that gave the goal to Mitch Maguire. The teammates got right around him. Great work from Canberra. Been deserved winners, and look, they've got some real positives going forward.
Give that hit out to Richards at the restart against Huddy. And we'll have a ball up. Secondary stoppage. They've really been lacking somewhat in decision-making, but more so in basic skill, Redland, this afternoon, while Canberra, they have been on. Taylor comes away, now to Smout, on the left foot, to half forward. Miller will get there first, gathers it cleanly, does well. Chain of handballs, now ends up with Goodall, kicks a little worm burner, and doesn't quite find Baker on the full, Caelan Baker. Ball tapped out in the path of teammates, now to Payne. Howard just tucks it under his arm and goes, and then doesn't find Huddy with the handball, but he gets back on it. Awkward left foot. Unable to take it was Highmore. Emerging was Howellman to try and take it. Walsh busted off the ball. Pake and Conlon, they combine to get it out of their defensive area, and Smout on the outer side will take the relieving mark.
Everything they're trying, just not quite coming off for Redland. Canberra taking their chances when they do get them as well. The ball's with Jared Osborne, former Swans Academy member from the Manly Warringah Club, and a 50-metre penalty as well. Don't know what that one was for, but we always think it could be for a little bit of gibber.
Just a word of advice there for young Brendan Telford is to to really straight line the footy. Don't put one hand in and try and get around and be clever. I know he's only a small forward from John Paul College, but you got to really go hard and straight at the footy. He'll learn that, I'm sure.
And he'll learn that that's the best way to get to the ball as well. Jack Nunn takes the mark, looking for a pass, and just too easy. The marking there, not brilliant as well, as Isaac Taylor, who's already kicked a goal, will have another ping at it from 40 metres out directly in front.
Well, as you said, it was just poor checking, too easy, and that's been a lot of what has transpired today, is that when Canberra have had the ball, it's been a bit of a lack of accountability and lack of real gumption to run, compete at different times, and that's what you want as a coach. That'd probably be the biggest, most disappointing thing at different points in time. Not so much the basic skill, well, as we see.
That's a wobbler that went straight through, though, Kanko.
Yeah, Taylor, not very conventional, but got the job done. But they have been conventional largely today in the way they've gone about their football, Canberra. As said, you can handle the skill errors at times if the gumption's there, but they've made some absolute howlers at the same time, Redland. But Canberra, you know, a lot to like and a lot to give them credit for as they move to 140 points, 21-14. Redland 8-9-57.
84 points the margin, Bob.
Yeah, we'll have to get Jess to check on their highest score.
We've already done that.
We've done that, mate.
Oh, what did they get? What is it?
Well, it is their highest score, and they've
excellent.
beaten it by about 6 goals at the moment. It was 15-14, 104 in round 18, 2016 against the NT Thunder. They have smashed that, and they've got their highest score, and their highest winning margin was against Brisbane back in 2016 as well, was 43 points. They're currently 84 points in front. They will smash that.
So the ball inside forward 50 again for Canberra. Williams cops one high, so he'll win the free kick. He's tried hard, Adrian Williams. You certainly give him that. He's been one of their real triers. He's out laterally to Mills to the outer side. Towards Lyons. I'm not sure why he'd go to that option.
Poor
John
option.
Lyons. Now Taylor. Now to Hardy. Hardy right to Bruce in the goal square. And easy as you like. 3
Poor.
for Aaron Bruce. And the margin, I think you said 84
90.
before Pricey. I have 83 on the champion data stats. But the margin will be 89 points.
Ooh.
And we have played 25 3/4 minutes in this last quarter. The siren cannot come quick enough for Redland. They will need to regroup. Canberra, they'd like another 3 or 4. They'd like to play another game the way they're going.
Play at
Keep the
least another
confidence
quarter.
up.
They're trying to look for the cricket score of a 100-point victory. That would certainly put them in the record books for sure. Stephen Mills, we just spoke about his 15-metre kick. Well, he's tried a 40-metre kick into the corridor to a short Jai Lyons, who's about 180, against 3 big talls, into the corridor, bang, turnover goal, easy. Aaron Bruce, poor play.
Not taking their options or choosing the right option, I should say, Bob, is Malone. Gets the tap out, kicks it inside 50. The diving mark taken by Tom Highmore. He's got the runner in Isaac Taylor. A couple of goals to him. Chipping pass, smothered by Payne. Then the high tackle from Taylor gives Brad Rees a possession. Just a handful of them today from Brad Rees. Tries to chip a pass to Jai Lyons. He's got Payne on the run. Unloads from 50. It's a nice looking conveyance. Hamilman. And the ball punched away from him by Paik. So it's only behind 8 goals, 10, 58. Now 88 points the margin. They play Canberra. 22-14, 146 as Canberra run out of defence.
It's Highmore. Has that a lot to do, Highmore? We haven't seen a stack of him, but we haven't had to see a stack of him. Klemke was got the ball to him, and now it's with Smout. Just chipping in the back half. Now Martin really liked his game today. 26 possessions, get it to Aaron Bruce. They've got Taylor out by this commentary position all by himself. Now they've got it opened up. Baker, that's Angus Baker. Had one short, chooses to go long. It wasn't the right option. It's 2-on-1. And pushing back is Matt Thompson and takes a saving mark on this occasion for Redland and gets it off to his midfield partner in Rees. Now to Howard, to Salter, or in fact it was Rolls. Rolls with the bounce from 60 metres out. The chipping ball finds Hamilman. He's got 5, and this will be lining up for number 6.
That's off to Matty Thompson's second half. Like he was put into the midfield with Batoli Simmons getting hurt. He's really given them something around the packs and really put his body on the line. That was a great defensive mark and set up their best play forward.
So he comes in, Hamilman squeezes it in, and that is number 6 for him. And that pulls one back. So very good work there. He's had 9 shots on goal, Matty Hamilman, 6 goals, 3, 8 marks, 11 disposals, all kicks. He hasn't bothered handballing, and when you're kicking goals, I suppose you don't have to. And the margin back to 82 points. So well done to Matt Hamilman. As I said, one of the few contributors for Redland this afternoon.
Said it before, 6 goals out of a 9-goal, 10 scoreline for your side. Not a bad chunk of it. He's had 9 scoring shots out of 19 as well. So half the scoring shots basically of his side, Matt Hamilman. So take your hat off to him. Not not the best delivery into a forward line, Bob, for you to use your skills either.
No, look, they've looked for him a little bit in this quarter at least, but in the first 3 quarters, their delivering to the forward line was atrocious.
Here comes Bruce, tackled. Let's go with the ball. Slap forward. It's in dispute at the half-forward line for Redland. In comes Pake. Big man does well. Gets the ball away. That's Carr slapping it forward. Gets it out there to Conlon. Conlon goes wide. It'll be a downfield free kick. He was dealt with after he got rid of it. Ball's in the hands of Luke Mackay, who's kicked 5 of his own. Oh, he sees a man in Aaron Bruce. Commentary side. Gives it to Highmore. Gives it to Smout. Smout handball over the top. Back to Highmore. Back to Martin, who is absolutely belted. Now Redland. Copeland picks it up. Bruce tackled him and Copeland dropped the ball. So it'll go back to Smout. Puts it to half forward. Isaac Taylor, 55 away. He's got a man in the pocket running for him, and that is Donnie Roberts. He's 50 metres out. Is he going to have a ping at this, Kangaroo? Why wouldn't you? This late in the game, you might as well have a shot. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's no consequence either way, is it really? So why not?
Oh, you might as well. If you've got one on the board, get a couple.
I thought Craig Malone really took pity on Sam Martin there. I thought he
could have
kill him. But he backed off a bit.
Oh, that's a good-looking conveyance, and off hands, 1 behind results. So we're back to an 83-point margin, 147 plays 64 in favour of Canberra. Very late in the final term.
So Peter Yagmore, we haven't seen him really launch one from fullback too often. Ball's been down there a lot. Gives it plenty with the drop punt. Copeland went high. Christensen was at ground level but couldn't take it with him. Angus Baker, Richards and Bruce was involved in that passage of handball before the siren.
Well, there you have
the mercy rule given because the away side, the Canberra Demons, have chalked up their first victory in season 2018 in the NEFL. 22-15, 147, a record score for them in the NEFL competition, a record margin, a record winning margin for them. And Redland, 9-10-64. It was 83 points. And they won every quarter, did Canberra. 4 goals to zip in the first quarter, 5-3 the second, 8-2 in the third. In the last, just when we thought Redland might sort of sneak some sort of advantage for the day, Canberra finished hard again, 5-4. And again, 83 points, a real telling blow on the board for Canberra in their first win of season 2018.
Yeah, full credit to them, Mark. They were clearly the classier side on the day. They used their skills well. They backed each other up, used their hands well. They were clean around the contest. And kicking into the breeze, they've ended up kicking 10 goals to Redland's 2, kicking into that breeze. It was going to the north end. So that's a fantastic achievement. But look, 4 quarters, a comprehensive victory. They had winners everywhere, like none better than Maguire. McKay was very good. Klemke was good down back. Mitch Hardy, I liked his game. Look, they had winners everywhere. Smout was good. Lucas Malign, especially the first half. They had winners everywhere. And even the players that didn't get a lot of the footy, you mentioned Highmore, blokes like Turner, they did their bits throughout the day. And alternatively for Redland, I think there's only 2 that could queue up and knock on the door of the coach and say, where's me pay this week? One's Craig Malone, number 19. The other one's probably Matty Hamilman for 6 goals. Apart from that, and maybe Adrian Williams, he tried very, very hard, got a bit of a whack. But yeah, apart from those 3, not much at all for Redland. Not wearing their socks today, and they couldn't pull any of them up. So it's going to be a hard task for the coach Harding to really get some vigour into this side and to really get them fired up from here on.
And if you look at the goal scorers as well, Canberra kicked 22 goals, and it was right across the board as well. They had a host of goal kickers. Luke Mackay led the charge with 5. Then you had 3 to Aaron Bruce, 2 to Isaac Taylor, 2 to Mitch Maguire, 2 to Ben Fulford, and 2 to Cameron Milne. Singles to Malign, Oakes, Baker, Roberts, And that was it. And when you look at it for Redland, as we say, 6 out of the 9 goals for Matthew Hamilman, 2 to Christensen and 1 to Jackson Payne. Kanga, the individual numbers, again, even more damning. I'm loving the game. I've said it all game about Mitch Maguire, though. There's a young bloke who's a rising star nomination, and there's something about him that just reminded me a little of the Tom Mitchell mould, where you just get the ball when you need to and do something with it.
Well, he was very good today, wasn't he? 27 disposals, 6 marks, 2 tackles, 5 clearances, 6 inside 50s and a couple of goals to go with it. Alex Smouth, though, he led the possession getters, 29 disposals, 7 clearances, 5 inside 50s. Martin had 27, like Maguire, and then you went down to 22 for Angus Baker, 21 for Bruce, who had a good game, 13 marks, 7 tackles. So did his part inside forward 50 and keeping the ball there as well, kicked 3 goals. And, you know, they had winners all over the ground. As Bob Batty said, the coach, Cade Klemke, in the back half, even he had 16 disposals and 7 marks and really helped control it in the back part of the ground. For Redland, it was Jack Rolls with 27 disposals, 5 tackles, 7 clearances, 4 inside 50s. And then Damien Stephen with 19. It went down from there. I think Adrian Williams was one mention that Bob mentioned. He had 17 disposals, 9 marks and 7 rebound 50s. And, of course, the other one, Matt Hamilman, 12 disposals, 8 marks, and he kicked 6 goals, 3 for the afternoon. 366 disposals to 284, inside 50s, 64 to 42. Clearances going Canberra's way, 40 to 36, despite Redland winning the hit out, 66 to 26. And just honourable mention, of course, to Craig Malone, 51 hit outs for the afternoon. So he has had an absolute crack and put his body in there as a force to be reckoned with. But unfortunately, to no avail this afternoon.
And it's going to get no better for Redland if you have a look at it, because next week they travel to Traeger Park. TIO Traeger Park, Alice Springs. So they're going to be playing in Alice Springs against an NT Thunder side that are going pretty well at the moment. Canberra Demons, it'll be an interesting game with they've got Aspley travelling down to Canberra Oval as well. So that will be interesting. And we've got a live score from Southport and Aspley.
Yeah, it's half time there, and Aspley have not started season 2018 real well, and it's continuing at the moment because they are being absolutely touched up by Southport. 6 goals, 18, letting Aspley off the hook at the moment. 54 points to Aspley, 1 goal, 3.
So
at
Southport,
half time down at Fankhauser Reserve.
So that'll be very interesting as Southport give Aspley a touch-up. Oh, that'll be a nice, interesting game. I've got to admit, didn't have great expectations of what the Canberra Demons would be bringing today, but certainly they absolutely ran all over the top of Redland. Their intent was greater, their ball use was better, and when they got the ball inside 50, they invariably scored and got the ball too easily out of defence for mine as well. They basically eclipsed Redland, I think, in all facets of the game.
Yeah, and look, they've got a very young list, so they're going to be good throughout the year, I'm sure. So well done to Cade Klemke and all his group, and great win for the Canberra Demons against a disappointing Redland Football Club.
And we'll be back next week, and we'll be having a look at the Gold Coast Suns versus the Sydney Swans on NEFL TV. On behalf of Mark Kennedy and Bob Batty, I'm Michael Price, and thanks very much to our broadcast partner in Bar TV. This has been NEFL TV.